he's on the microphone, when he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
The other slash.
Okay.
All right. And then, okay. And then is there a password?
No password.
No password. Okay. Somebody logged us out of our computers. So there you go. I think that worked. It says hi. Hi. Getting things ready for you. Oh, something must have updated, reset.
That's fun.
Isn't it, though? This might take a few minutes. Don't turn off your PC. All right, just get a leading off ready just in case, would you? Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. You know, one thing I really, truly do love about Pat Still over at Pat, Tom, and Cody. And by the way, Pat has been back for a minute. He was fighting his medical battle, and we're so happy to have him back in the building. And Pat's, Pat's a sports guy. He's a man's man. But every year we get Valentines. Did
you get a soccer one as well?
Yeah. Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. You're supposed to put it together somehow. And
Let's kick it.
That's what it says. Let's kick it together. Happy Valentine. Normalize men giving other men Valentine's Day cards. I think. Right?
This seems like a cash grab.
And I'm not doing a gay straight thing. I'm doing I think it's okay to do that. I think it's okay to be like, hey. I mean, you're not saying be my Valentine, although you could. You're saying, hey, you're a good guy. I appreciate you.
It's one of those cool ones with the lifesavers on them.
Yeah. Everybody appreciate it. I mean, who doesn't appreciate that? I remember in school, my kids are doing this today. They still do it. Where you gotta get your parent to go out and get all those little Valentine's Day cards. And then you gotta write to Susan. And then you're like, oh, do I do love? It's too forward. Heart. Yeah, heart's good. Or from. So if it's to Jeff, from David.
I actually like her, but I don't want her to know.
Yeah,
that I
exactly.
like her, but I kind of want to let her know.
I want to let her know. Like in Billy Madison, he's getting the big giant heart and then you had those jivey little sugar hearts that say be mine or yours forever.
I always thought those were gross.
So the thing is, you're not wrong, and it's just basically hardened, sort of chalk flavored sugar. It's like generic, really far worse Smarties. But the thing is that in school, man, I would collect those and just pound the hell out of them. I just eat them all day. Oh, you don't like yours? I'll take them. It's just it's something sweet to chew on. Gimme. So if you you forgot Valentine's Day stuff, it's not too late. Just I don't know. Make a card. Draw a little heart on the front of a piece of typing paper, and then write a really personal note. And then just be like, I didn't want to get you one of those store-bought cards. They just don't say how I feel. I wanted to do something on my own, and I'm telling you, they'll appreciate it a lot more. Even though really you did that because you forgot and were lazy. But you just got to play it up, man. Welcome in. It's a Friday show, plus Jason's not here, so I cannot vouch for what's going to happen today. I did one of those yesterday afternoon. I did one of those one of them interviews we do every once in a while where it's like, hey, you've been tell us about radio. It was for a kid's it was a big show. It was for a kid's college essay. He got a hold of me on Twitter. And
I thought that was going to be your daughter.
I know, right? It's for her. And it was funny because you never know what you're going to, you never know where a good question is going to come from or something that makes you think. And he said, what was the question? How do you maintain your mental health through the years?
Obviously doesn't pay attention to the show.
And I laughed and I told him, it's a good question. It is a good question. And I said, the truth of the matter, and really, I've actually been thinking about that question since he asked it. I think I gave him a good answer. I probably gave him way too long of an answer, but
you?
I know, right?
There was definitely an analogy.
That's a good. No, I don't think there was, but I don't blame you for saying that. No, I think my answer basically was like, you don't. Like some people do. Like Jason's great at it. Jason just blocks everything out and just does the job and goes home, and he's never too high and never too low. And I'm jealous of that because that is a superpower. But I told him, I was like, you don't. And the majority, I think, of people in media, radio specifically, and you always have to preface this by saying we love the job and all that. But I said, and it's true. It's like you lose a bit of your mental health. You become a little bit weird. I think you gotta be weird to do this anyways. Because
even your precious Jason is weird.
Yeah, I guess. But I feel like Jason can fit into normal life better than most that are doing. And it's one, by the way, and there's different levels. Like if your job is to report news and traffic, or your job is to introduce Papa Roach and Green Day on the hits of the 90s, that's a different thing. Talk radio is a whole different animal because there's no form of radio that you put yourself into more than that. And also, or podcast, same thing. And then it's also the type, like if your podcast is, I'm reviewing cars. Okay, well, you're stuck to it. You don't have a certain amount of time. If you're doing commercial broadcast terrestrial radio, for example, you're filling 4 hours in this case every single day, 3.5 hours of content, 30 minutes of commercials, give or take. And every day it starts over, every day, regardless of the season. Every day you look at that, the show page, this two-sided show page that is blank at the start, just has your, leading off and 3 for madness, and here's your guess, and everything else is blank. You have to build content around that. Well, that's fine. No problem. But then you get into the whole, like, every month you get mathematics sent to you that tell you whether or not people like you. Those are called ratings. And then on top of that, it's the social media aspect where it's like, it's always nice to hear you're doing a great job or this or that or whatever. Then you get the whole, like, this guy sucks. He's terrible. I don't know how he has a job. And, you act like it doesn't get you. And most of the time it doesn't, but you build that up over years. It's like plaque in your arteries. It just kind of hardens you, which is why whenever people say, hey, what would you say, or how would you recommend, what would you say to somebody, like, hey, I want to get into the business. What would your recommendation be? And I always
don't.
Yeah, that's always my answer. It really is. It really, truly is. Don't Do not get into this business. You have to be some sort of sick to get into this business. And if you want to work in a business that, by the way, ain't exactly, it's not like there's not more competition each and every year from different platforms and formats and all. I'm not saying radio's dying. Everybody says that, and here we go. Radio's still amazing. It makes a lot of money and a lot of people listen, but every year it gets harder. On top of that, you almost certainly, like guys like Jason and I are complete anomalies. You're in the same market, your home market, for multiple decades. You have had the same job pretty much. That is maybe 5% of the business. It's you're moving to Battle Creek, Michigan, to Saginaw, to Fort Myers, to you're climbing markets, living out of a trunk.
I will say our market is very weird, though,
Yes,
in
it
that
is.
we do not like outsiders.
That's exactly right, and that's why guys like Alan and Kyle have different challenges. Kyle Draper versus a Whitey or me or you or Jason. And once upon a time, Jason was an outsider, but it was so long ago nobody knew.
Was California State then?
Still a part of Mexico, Chris. So you're right. Sacramento's a little bit different, a lot of bit different, but most of the people that have been in radio for a long time have had to move markets because you get fired here and then this station gets bought out and this station turned to Spanish and this station flipped formats to news talk and whatever. And you've got to it's bad enough to drag yourself around the country, but now you're dragging a family around the country and your kids are changing schools and you're doing all this crap. And that's, by the way, if you can even stay employed, always knowing in the back of your head that there's a chance that you'll spend the first 15, 20 years of your prime doing this. And then at some point you can't find another job in radio. You've been let go and you have no transferable skills and you're 38. And you got to, you're telemarketing next to some 17-year-old kid trying to make money on the side in high school. So yeah, it's don't get in the business. It's not worth it. Find another way to find another way to get a press season ticket, a credential. But anyways, yesterday was UCLA interview day. Let's talk about mental health with my daughter. At 4 p.m. We're all set and ready to go. I was helping her. I had a little ring light I helped her with. And then we set her phone up in the ring light to record her because I wasn't allowed in the room. And then everything's all set. Give her a little glass of water, a little mug of green tea, wanted her to be super comfortable. She was all dressed up and, you're sitting there and I want to pull a chair up right next to her and be like, if you don't let my daughter in, I will kill you. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to. If you make her cry, I will find you. I'm Liam Neeson. And of course, blah, blah, blah. That's a crime. So I waited outside her door with my ear to the door at first. And then they're like, welcome in. You're in the lobby and we got a ton of people. And here's a presentation on UCLA. And then they, basically she didn't even get her interview until like 50 minutes later. And by that point, I'd gone downstairs to deal with the dogs who were barking as usual. But she got done. She did it. It was 15 minutes. She thought she did okay, which means she probably did really well because she's hard on herself. And we went out and watched the second half of the Pelicans game at all-you-can-eat sushi because that was I wanted to do something nice for her while Melissa and Mason were at their games. And everybody, please cross your fingers.
Shut the screen!
Because the last damn thing I want to do is I just don't want to open that email, man. They send you an email and it says the decision is in, whatever. And then, we all open it together. And I just have this nightmare of opening that email and, we regret to inform you. And then
we regret to inform you you're going to Pepperdine.
We regret to inform you that you are a failure as a parent and you've produced a failure as a child and there's nothing you can do to make her feel better and she's never going to recover from this, and great job.
We regret to inform you that she has been accepted and we now expect $250,000.
That's actually, we regret to inform you that you're going to need a side job and your wife better, never mind. We'll take a break. A lot of stuff to get to today. including, this is where I'm choosing to go with this, guys, including how the Kings got absolutely screwed out of a win in New Orleans. That's going to be my copium today. It is the All-Star break, so we're going to talk a lot about taking stock, state of the kingdom, if you will. First half, which is what we call it, even though we're well past the halfway mark. Brendan Nunes will join us at 9 a.m. Our Sacramento Kings Sacramento Sports Kings Insider. Excuse me. Going to bring Kevin Nagel on, the owner of the Republic, to talk about what we talked about a little bit yesterday with the USL moves. Also, Republic season coming up. New manager, all that fun stuff. That'll be at about 9:15. And then I assume we're still doing Friday Fun and Games. Jason's usually pretty good about that.
We are.
Okay. All right. So we got that. Kings Rewind.
We do.
Oh, wow. All right. Sit back, relax. Jason Ross on a mini vacation. So it's just all of us. We will be unprofessional and silly. And we'll start it all off with leading off next.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush, makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
California, it's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon. 4 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now through February 17th and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and counting. Or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport, with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E, with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end February 17th. So go to your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Terrific job in overtime by the Pelicans. Their fans exult. The Kings let one get away. They end up losing it 140-133. And for the first time since January 20th, when they beat Utah in overtime, the Pelicans have a win. And they do this in overtime, defeating the Kings by 7, 140-133.
All right, before we get into that, some of you on YouTube may have noticed there was a different graphic. That's because we have a bribery going on, as we like to bribe you to listen. And we get complaints all the time that we don't ever do anything for the YouTubes. So we're doing something specifically for the YouTubes. It's
delayed and it takes too long for us to call.
Right. Exactly. So, Chris, explain what we're doing, please.
We are giving away a signed Malik Monk jersey. So if you go to our YouTube page during the show, you'll see during the commercial breaks a code word to use. And with that code word, you will go to our website, sacktownsports.com, go to the contest page, and just enter the word.
That's it. So they'll see the word during the breaks, go to the website, contest, enter word, Monk jersey, signed.
Correct.
Okay, there you go. You're welcome, YouTube. Now back to the game. And good luck, by the way. So here's what I'm choosing. I kind of want to go sour grapes. End of the first half, they had like 17 clock issues. Pelicans convert. Long pass down the court for a breakaway. I forget who it was. It was Monk or Keegan or somebody. Would have been a sure 2 points. But they called a clock issue, which was like the 4th or 5th one. And then the Kings had to inbound again under their own basket. And, of course, they didn't convert. Well, the game went to overtime. Those 2 points make the difference. So I'm choosing to believe that the NBA screwed the Kings, or the Pelicans specifically, out of those 2 points, and that's why they lost.
Everyone likes to make fun of soccer, but this would never happen in a soccer game.
The clock issue?
Yeah.
No,
It
because
just keeps going.
no, because in soccer, they do the regular 45 minutes a half, and then you have injury time. And the injury time is based on approximately what the ref thinks it is. So the assistant referee who's actually doing it holds up a sign when the clock hits 45 for 45 minutes. It says like 4 minutes. And then does it stop right at 4 minutes? No. Because the ref then kind of has to allow for stoppages during that 4 minutes. Somebody gets injured, it's out of bounds, whatever it is. What's the formula that goes into that? Nobody knows. I'd love to see that here. So, yeah, I think basically they got screwed. As much as I'd like to go with copium, and it is one game, but the one games add up. This is the stretch where the Kings have to get healthy. And by healthy, I mean healthy win-wise. Because the March schedule, which we will go over later, is absolute brutality. And anything can happen. Remember, they won in Boston earlier this year. They have the new coach bump. But they're just kind of floating around 500 right now. And for you to lose when you have a fully healthy roster against a Pelicans team that had lost 10 in a row, was missing guys like Herb Jones and others. Oh, and by the way, the guy that's been lighting you up, Zion Williamson, is not playing. And you had a 4-point lead with, I think, under a minute left. You blew that. Goes to OT. And then you lose in OT. Now you're sitting here at 28-27, having lost your last game going into a break. Again, breaking the Pelicans' 10-game streak. These just are games you can't lose. They sit here right now, 1.5 games into the play-in. Phoenix is a game and a half behind them and the Warriors, who they are tied with, and a game and a half behind the Mavericks. So they're just kind of floating around in that play-in. And we're gonna have a frank conversation.
Oh, Frankie's back?
Yeah. On this game today, and on the outlook. Because I can give you, and I probably will give you both. I'll play, since Jason's not here, I'll play attorney, and I'll grab both sides. I can give you an optimistic take if things all go right. And I can give you the pessimistic, or some might say realistic, take on the remainder of the season. The problem is, we were talking about mental health earlier. The problem is I'm incredibly aware that if my take is negative, and I truly believe what I'm saying, I always have in the back of my head that there's a group of people that listen and watch that don't want to hear that, because they tune in for an escape and they want optimism and hope. And then inevitably, when I'm right about it at the end of the year, it's not like I can go back and be like, told you, because that's just a D-bag move. So not a lot of upside in being negative, but then if you lie and you're positive, you're being disingenuous and a shill. So you're kind of stuck in the middle. And I generally default to just be honest and let everybody hate you. So we'll talk a lot about that. A lot about the first half. You guys will have an opportunity at 1-800-920-1140 to weigh in as well. Meantime, cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Listen, I think we got a situation here where you got a new general manager, a new head coach, and when new general managers and new head coaches come in, they typically like to make changes and bring in their own people. There's a reason that a team's in the market for changing its general manager and head coach. And so when that happens, they like to reset the culture and establish their own culture. So I would think that that's a part of this, that the Jets want to go in their own direction and they want to start over. There's no doubt that Aaron Rodgers still can play and still can play at a high level. But the Jets are starting to build this again from the ground up, despite the fact that they've got some good talent on their roster. And so they're not expected to bring back Aaron Rodgers at this point in time. Aaron Rodgers will go somewhere else. He may try to take Devontae Adams with him wherever he's going. I would think with Aaron Rodgers not back, Devontae Adams is not going to be back in New York either. So, again, you start to see those changes.
Oop.
Are the most notable changes.
It's so funny. We have Adam Schefter on a phone. Makes Sam Amick sound clear. Hi, Sam. He's not up this early. Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers we talked about this last week, where the reports kind of started to tinkle out. Aaron Rodgers will not go back to the Jets. I think we're going to talk about this at length at 7:28 because I love this fit for the Raiders. I really do. I love it, especially because you're probably getting discount double check Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to have to pay a ton of money. Maybe you throw him a 2-year, 40, 36, $30 million deal. I don't know. He's still better than most quarterbacks in the league. He's not Aaron Rodgers. But also remember, he played for the Jets, and that's where quarterbacks go to die, to absolutely die. I love this for the Raiders. I'm not saying you're getting Rich Gannon or Jeff Hostetler, but you know where I'm going with that. And I think Rodgers would be the perfect guy, especially if they end up drafting, if they get Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. I understand those guys probably got to start. But if they were to draft a QB a little bit lower down or get one next year on the second year of a Rodgers contract, I think having him coach them as he coached Jordan Love, and Jordan Love's been very vocal about Aaron supporting him. I think Aaron would do even better this later in his career when he does see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think this is something that Tom Brady and the Raiders should take a good hard look at. We'll take a break, though. When we come back, we've got audio. Kings lose to the Pelicans. We'll recap it, unfortunately, next.
Move. Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hello, I'm Frank Aqua with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Looking back at 2024, the stock market was at all-time highs. The economy seemed vibrant. Jobs were plentiful for those looking, and inflation seemed to have nearly cooled to the 2% Federal Reserve target. In reality, it could be much different. Unemployment, for example, measures all workers, including those that may be underemployed by choice or by circumstance. It only measures those actively looking for work and does not include earned income. You could actually be underemployed, earning less than needed monthly, but still count as employed. 23.7% of workers counted as employed earned less than the poverty level of nearly $25,000 annually. Similarly, if you look at inflation, remove the items that those with a modest income are not likely to purchase. In 2023, the rate of inflation rose from the stated 4.1% CPI to 9.4%, according to a study by Politico. It was items such as these that led mainstream America to feel unseen and unheard. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned in other entities and or marketing names. Products or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Sky Rizzy, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Sky Rizzy, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
Hey, Marvel comic fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. This week, get ready for Captain America, Brave New World, the IMAX experience. The best place to immerse yourself in Marvel comic action is on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen with heart-pounding audio.
You asked for me. Here I am. Captain America, caught without his wings. You want me? Come and get me!
Get your tickets early at IMAX.com/Sacramento. And don't miss Captain America, Brave New World, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Mosley here with Friday's Toyota Tahoe report. You're going to want to hit the road early, my friends, because snow is falling in the Sierras. I know my four-wheel drive Toyota Sequoia is getting me there, so let's go.
Thanks, Johnny. Winter storm warning in effect until tonight, with snow accumulating up to 3 inches with winds reaching up to 15 miles per hour. Tonight will be partially cloudy with a low around 22, and tomorrow will be partially sunny with milder weather. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cheer on the Sacramento Kings in the stretch run of the season. Now through February 21st, enjoy no fees on Kings tickets for all upcoming games, including matchups against the Warriors, Spurs, Cavaliers, and Celtics. That's right, no fees, just savings. Catch the Beam Team with new addition, 2-time All-Star Zach LaVine, and experience the thrill of Kings basketball at Golden One Center. Seats are going fast. Don't wait to get your tickets with no fees. Visit kings.com/no fees to grab your tickets today.
Join me, Alan Siles, and the Sacktown Sports Team this Saturday, 2 to 4 p.m. at Folsom Buick GMC. Come out, win prizes, and check out amazing President's Day sales.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
In corner this time to Sabonis, left elbow extended, drops it back to Zach, throws it out to Malik. He'll try to tie it with a triple, and he does exactly that. Malik Monk from downtown. So we are tied at transition 3 from the corner. Airball one, grabbed by Lyles, leads it out. And here comes LaVine. Going to be challenged, up and down move, finger roll off the glass is good. He scores 2, and we're back to a one-possession game. It's 39-36 in favor of New Orleans.
Yeah, I could lead you and just play clip after clip after clip, and I'll play some more clips here, don't get me wrong. But really, excuse me, this was a very, very close game, as a matter of fact. Let me look here. Largest lead. Where are you? Biggest lead. Kings 8, Pelicans 9. It's pretty rare when you have both under double digits for an entire game. And it went back and forth. Kings did have a 5-point lead going into the second half. Then the Pelicans took a 3-point lead going into the third. Kings obviously matched that in the fourth, that lead. And then 13-6. Kings managed 6 points in OT. Domantas Sabonis, though, was what do you say about this dude, man? He's the most underrated player in the NBA. I mean, we have to be able to say that, right? When you're putting the numbers up that he's putting up, and it's just taken for granted And he can't even get an all-star berth with what he's doing.
Up and down scoop, it's no good. Keegan may have gotten a piece of it. Sabonis has it, throws it ahead to LaVine. LaVine with a ball fake, drives inside, reaches to the rack, misses the layup. Sabonis gets the rebound, hammers at home. The Kings take the lead at 119-117.
22 points, 28 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 10 of 16 from the field, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc. I mean, he actually only had 1 foul, even though he leads I saw the graphic, he leads the NBA in fouls this year, which I don't mind as long as he's not fouling out all the time. And I know that's usually, that could be an issue, but, he's playing engaged defense. I saw another graphic the other day, too, that he is the highest rated post defender in the league. At some point, we have to start talking about him as a plus defender. He's just so good, and it's so weird that he can't make an all-star team. From a Kings fan point of view, I'm kind of fine with it. We've talked about it before because he's so banged up. He deserves the time off with his family. But it's super insulting. It also costs him, $1.5 million, I believe, in his contract. It's just garbage. Only one player in the NBA has hit 25 or more rebounds this season. Domantas Sabonis has done it twice. And it's not just the rebounds. He's not out there, no offense, but he's not Andre Drummond or Hassan Whiteside. It's the assists. It's the scoring. 20.5 points, 14.6 boards, 6.2 assists on 60% from the field. As a center, his splits are 60, 45.5 on 2.5 threes a game, and 75, which, by the way, he's at career highs for, let me see. Well, he had 61.5 as his field goal percentage 2 years ago. I believe he's at a career high because I know his volume's low. Well, he made 53% of his threes in 18-19 with Indiana on 0.2 per game. So throw that out. He's got career highs in 3-point percentage, in free throw percentage. There's just no real holes in this game. He's so damn good. Oh, by the way, it's a career high in scoring this year as well. Career high in rebounds, and he's led the league in rebounds the last 2 years. He's beating his career high by almost a full rebound a game. He had 13.7 last year, 14.6 this year. Anyway, CJ McCollum hates the Sacramento Kings with the heat of 2
Stops,
suns.
launches, misses again, and the rebound to Alvarado. Pelicans look for the lead. Here comes Trey Murphy to Alvarado. Swings to McCollum, drives the baseline, stops, pulls up, hits the two-pointer, and the Pelicans lead at 123-122. Doug Christie calls timeout.
Maxwell on the chat says something, which is a perfectly valid comment. I don't see Sabonis as a plus defender at all. So many easy buckets when he's in there. Need Valanciunas in there to challenge and alter shots. Well, the first part is understandable. Secondly, let me get to the second part first. Jonas Valanciunas is nowhere in the same stratosphere as Domantas Sabonis when it comes to post defense. And every metric supports that. No offense to Jonas Valanciunas, but he's not in the same stratosphere as Domantas Sabonis in the post. He's a big body, but he's not a shot blocker. Neither is Sabonis. Oh, yeah, he's a big boy. But what I would say about Sabonis and giving up shots in the post, you guys got to remember, too, he's only as good as his surrounding defense. And when think about it like whack-a-mole. If you're Domantas Sabonis, you can only do so much in the key. And when you're going from one side to the other, because your perimeter defense is letting you down, it makes you look like you're letting a lot of baskets go in. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm saying his perimeter defense lets him down quite a bit. But every metric you look at when it comes to Sabonis, again, best post defender in the league, tells you he's a plus defender. CJ McCollum, did I mention how much he hates the Sacramento Kings?
We come to the 2-minute mark of this first overtime session. Alvarado, McCollum open left wing, scores another 3. Oh my gosh. That's going to give him a 41-point ball game with that triple. It's 136-133.
This just in. See if you can find a theme. CJ McCollum absolutely hates the Sacramento Kings.
Alvarado, is he going to shoot it? He drives. He kicks. Green for three. Doesn't get it. Back tap. Grabbed by Matkovic. New chance for the Pelicans. Mishandled by Green, but saved. Gives to McCollum. Drives inside. Goes glass and scores. That's going to be the dagger.
There's your final. And then when the Kings sent it to overtime, I figured, okay, well, they got this. No Zion. They kind of fell asleep a little bit at the end of the fourth. No problem. But then they seem to forget that CJ McCollum hates the Sacramento Kings. And where was Keon Ellis? 22 minutes. Let's call it 23 if you round up. 22-44. We'll be kind. And by the way, granted, he was 3 of 10 on the night. Not exactly the shooting night he had the other night. But this also goes to the confidence of the player as well and letting them work it out, which you could argue he's earned the right to figure them out. I love Malik Monk. He is not a gifted closeout defender. And Monk was 8 of 24 last night. Here's the sad truth. Oh, wait. I'm looking at, by the way, I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at this box score right now. Attendance, 16,686. What? What is that? What kind of a fake number is that? Dressed as empty seats. God, that place was a lot. You could hear Doug on the broadcast yelling out plays. Clearly. The sad part, guys, Domantas Sabonis had 22, 28, and 5. Keegan Murray had 13 and 8. DeMar DeRozan had 20. Zach LaVine had 32 points and 10 assists and 3 steals, and clearly his best game as a King. Malik Monk had 24 and 9. And you lost to a team that lost 10 in a row without Zion Williamson. Think about all those great performances. Not perfect. And you lost in overtime to a Zion-less team that lost 10 in a row. What are we going to take from that today? They have to get defensive. And it's what we talked about at training camp, at media day, at the trade deadline. We have been screaming it and screaming it and screaming it. And I think this team is absolutely doomed this season. And perhaps beyond if they don't have some uncomfortable conversations. So when we get back, we'll talk about what one of those uncomfortable conversations may have to be, and we'll do it next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobbit, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the President's Day sales event?
It's time for some good old-fashioned doorbusters. Right now, save up to $20,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2024 Ram trucks. That's the kind of savings you don't usually see until Memorial Day. and definitely not on Ram heavy duties. But this weekend at Hoblet, it's happening.
And you have 30 to choose from?
That's right. Plus, you can also get 0% financing for 72 months on a bunch of new models, including hybrids. But you better hurry in. These deals only last through President's Day.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. 20,000 total net savings after 13,000 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% off MSRP factory cash, sample VIN savings 8013, plus 4,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons and 1,000 trade-in assistance for 2005 or newer under 160,000 mile vehicle. Sample VIN 371844. 0% financing for 72 months on new Wagoneer S, 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE, and 2024 Dodge Hornet. $13.89 per thousand finance on approved credit through Stellantis Financial. See dealer for details.
Okay, guys, who is done with their Valentine's Day shopping? What are you waiting for? Stop putting off your Valentine's Day shopping and go to Prestigio Jewelers today.
She's right. Prestigio Jewelers has everything you need for Valentine's this year. And you're approved guaranteed. No credit, bad credit, even bankruptcy? 6 months proof of income guarantees you a credit line of $400 to $10,000. Time is running out. Make this a Valentine's Day she'll never forget. Visit one of our showrooms today or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Buy with 0 down at Folsom Lake Ford during the President's Day Sell-a-thon. New F-150, Escapes, Explorers, 0 down on any new Ford with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford and tell them Coach Christie sent you.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
We've had a lot of conversations about, man, is this the right starting lineup? And if it's not, who do you sit? And you go down the list and you're like, DeRozan, how can you sit him? The guy's a walking bucket and has almost single-handedly won this team a few games this year. Keegan Murray. Well, probably the most obvious one on the surface. Here's the problem. On a team that sorely lacks defense, he is your only wing defender. And whereas last night you look at the numbers, 5 of 11, 13 points, 8 boards. That's fine. It's not great. It's fine. And a team high +7. But the box score, it's why Keegan Murray is probably the most difficult player and maybe the most controversial player on the Kings. Most difficult to understand because you look at a box score, you're like 13 points. Come on, dude. But it's when you watch the games, I invite you just to watch Keegan. He's their only wing defender. So if you have a defense issue and you sit Keegan Murray, you've just killed your already crap defense. Sitting Domantas Sabonis, LOL, move on. Zach LaVine had his best game, 32-10. Had a great game yesterday. Team high 45 minutes. He's trying to fit in. Oh, by the way, he makes $45 million a year, and they just acquired him. Malik Monk, come on, 24-9, 42 minutes, huge moments. Has earned this ability to start, wants to start, signed here on a great contract. How do you sit him? Because you're trying to find a way, really, let's be honest, trying to find a way to inch Keon Ellis into the starting lineup. Because when you traded De'Aaron Fox, we've gone over ad nauseum, and I don't want to relitigate it, the things you lost, but you also lost a quick defender who is regularly in the top 3 in the league in steals and deflections. You lost a plus defender at point guard. Malik Monk is not a plus defender. And by the way, the defense wasn't great before, but it's really fallen in the tank since these trades were made. The problem is, and we'll go back to the old analogy I've used 1,000 times for this team through the years, sadly enough, is that we'll go to my favorite world of food and cooking, or baking if you wish. You have you look at this starting lineup and you break it down player by player. They all are good to great at the things that they do. They're good ingredients. But it's Valentine's Day today. Go home and take a filet mignon, some creme brulee, a baked potato, a scoop of ice cream, really good ice cream, like vanilla bean, like Dryers. And I don't know.
That's your peak of excellence.
Well, what's better than Dryers? Dryers? I don't know. I was just thinking.
Some hoity-toity store.
And put them all in a bowl and mix them together and serve it. Gross. The dish doesn't work. You have great ingredients, but the dish doesn't work because the ingredients don't mesh. Okay, guys, fine. Haagen-Dazs. Get off me.
Let's go Gunther's.
The truth that we probably don't want to face is that this team at a glance has been put together like a team you'd want to put together in fantasy basketball. Really think about that. This is a team that, hey, this guy can score. This guy can, this guy, he can assist. It's a team that would be a good fantasy basketball team. And it's why I would say to the layperson basketball fan, if you were to take arguably the best team in the league, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you were to look at their starting lineup, you go, okay, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP candidate, awesome. Lou Dortz. Jalen Williams is great. Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. By the way, no disrespect, these are all great players, but they're less a fantasy basketball team and more a team that is specifically put together to mesh on the floor and to cover each other's weaknesses on offense and defense and play to each other's strengths. It's a big reason why guys like Derek White aren't as celebrated as others, but are ultimate glue guys. Those players that play that don't jump off the page at you, but oh my God, your team's winning by 22 every night. The Kings don't have that. They're going to win games in many cases because they're just better. They're just more talented. But if you wonder why we keep coming back to this time after time after time, it's because we're driving ourselves into the ground. They can't defend. They can't stop the other team. And I wonder why it is. Is it because we're coping? Is it because we just don't want to see it? But why is it that we constantly are saying, God, why does this team shoot so well from three against us? Why is this guy making all these shots when he shoots 30%? How many times this season have you watched a team come in, whether it's Golden One Center or they're at home, and completely overshoot their average marks? And what do we think? They're just hot at the right time. We're just getting unlucky. No, it's because teams know going in their prep, in their walk, in their shoot around, in their walkthroughs. Guys, this is gonna be a fun game tonight. You can score on these guys. They got a weak underbelly in the perimeter. Have fun. And then they make a few and they get confident. And the next thing you know, it's off to the races. That's not going to change unless Doug during the break is able to completely overhaul their team defense. And I just don't know if you can do that with this lineup. There's not enough defenders. So that's the reality, in my opinion, where we're at. You got to face some hard truths. So 1-800-920-1140. I want to hear from you guys. 1-800-920-1140. I told you we're going to take stock today. Let's take stock at the break. Are your expectations, have they been met? Has this season gone worse than you thought? Better than you thought? Truly ask yourself. And what's your solution if there's a problem? If you're the coach, if you're the GM, what do you do? 1-800-920-1140. Because the energy is not a problem. They're not lollygagging. Probably because of that $49 tune-up and inspection my friends at American Energy are offering that I tell you about each and every day. Hey, look, good morning. American Energy's been around since 1981. Serving the greater Sacramento area with the old A+ ranking. Can't get much higher. The Better Business Bureau. And it's Valentine's Day. What better present to give your significant other than a safe and working furnace? Well, guess what? American Energy can help you. $49 tune-up. If your furnace is 5 years or older, they'll come out and they'll tune it up for free. Why not take advantage of that? Now, if they point out that there's an issue, hey, you need a repair, they'll give you $50 off your first repair. It's pretty good. If you need a new furnace, they'll give you half off. Half off! Happy Valentine's Day. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy making the uncomfortable comfortable. I should probably check the text line at some point as well at 916-339-1140. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Your thoughts on the season so far. Next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends over at Jiffy Lube, and they want to show some customer love this month with their February oil change deals you can find online today. Visit jiffylube.com and find a service center near you to see these sweetheart deals. Get it? During the month of February. Here's what you do. Drive into savings at jiffylube.com today and let yourself save in the month of February. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
California, it's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon. 4 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now through February 17th and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport, with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end February 17th. So go to your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf.com's Josh Sens offers 5 common golf course maintenance mistakes and tips to correct them. You've hit the green, and to fix your divot, you jam your tool underneath the ball mark and lift the soil, but the right way is to circle the edges of the mark with your tool, gently pulling the turf toward the center. Second, when fixing divots in the fairway, fill it with sand until it's level with surrounding turf, and gently smooth it with your foot. Third, when the course imposes the 90-degree rule, it means to stay on the cart path until you can turn at a right angle to your ball, minimizing wear and tear on the turf. 4, when you're driving on the course, proceed at a modest pace and avoid staked and roped off areas. Avoid sharp turns, wet turf, bunker edges, tees, and greens. The superintendent will applaud you. 5, in a bunker, rake the sand smoothly and exit as you entered from the low side. Tap the sand from your shoes and leave it as if you weren't there. And now that you know, make sure your foursome knows as well. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. 1-800-920-1140. Brendan Nunes at 9, Kevin Nagel 9:13. Celebrity birthdays, Friday fun and games, all that fun stuff in the 9 o'clock. 3 for Madness next, and then we'll get into Aaron Rodgers and the Raiders. I asked for your phone calls, and I get Edward. Edward, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for calling.
Hey, you're welcome, Dave.
I'm absolutely serious about this. I'm not playing games. You know how every player has a number of uniforms with their names on the back, and when new players come, they stitch new names above whatever number he's going to be. I want whoever does that stitching to take one of Sabonis's uniforms and move the S one spot to the left and insert an N. That's all you'd have to do. You could change the A to a U, but you don't even have to. And he takes the floor, assuming he's not in the All-Star game, which I think is a good assumption. He takes the floor for the center jump wearing a uniform that says Sabonis. And everyone will see it, and everyone will write about it. There will be pictures all over the league, and they will not be able to avoid the fact that they kept the guy off the All-Star team with real All-Star numbers. So that's my take, and that's what I would hope they would do. Now, right after the center jump, they could send a guy out with a regular Sabonis uniform. He could change it on the court, but everyone is going to notice, and everyone will pick it up. So I think we need to be a little more active.
Edward, what if they take the S and the A off and they just change it to an N and an O to represent the $1 million he lost, and it's just no bonus?
Boy, now he has a jersey he could wear out for the second half.
Yeah,
because they have lots of jerseys. They change them if they get sweaty.
Get a new jersey in there. Exactly. All right. Well, thank you, Edward. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Happy Valentine's
You too.
Day. All right. Bye-bye. 1-800-920-1140.
No bonus.
No bonus. Snub bonus. Let's get to your texts. Yeah, watching LaVine and DeRozan score is such bad basketball. Let's go back to watching Metu, Daquan Jeffries, and Hassan Whiteside. I don't understand that. From the 916.
The thing people also don't want to hear is these guys still have to mesh together. And that's going to take time. And then you have to figure out afterwards, will this work? And we will have 5 games left of the season when that happens.
That's the thing. This is stuff that would be nice to figure out in training camp. And let me just take that text. All right. Watching LaVine and DeRozan score is neat. I like it. I enjoy it. I'm not being sarcastic. It's awesome. What is not awesome is watching the other team score more. So then the question is, do you want a fun, high-flying offensive performance and you lose? Or maybe dial that back a little bit, put in a little bit of gritty defense, and you win. Personally, my opinion, I would rather have a less entertaining offense and win than a more entertaining offense and lose. From the 916. A lot of people just hate this team. Even when Kings win, haters didn't believe it. I guess you're going to hate watch your team for the rest of the year. Something you, meaning me, Carmichael Dave, warned the team, fans not to do before the trade. Hey, look. Losing and being around 500 when you've got a win-now team, we can talk about it or we cannot talk about it. I'm trying to find a tweet somebody sent me to overnight. Oh, here we go. Real question. Why aren't Kings fans happy? Kings are 1 game above 500 in the play-in and just lost a game. Overreaction all the time just because the Kings were good 1 year. You're turning into Warrior fans. Don't understand that either. I think it's okay to have expectations. I think that's kind of a second cousin to, well, they're not in Seattle. I think it's okay to have expectations, and I think it's okay to take a realistic look at your team. Your team that, if you zoom out, is 5-5 in their last 10. Your team that, if you look at the schedule, has lost recently to a 10-game losing streak New Orleans. I'll forgive the Portland loss. They've been doing well. Philadelphia on the road, hapless. You've got Golden State, Charlotte, and Utah coming up out of the break. Golden State and Charlotte at home, Utah on the road. You got to go 3-0. You have to go 3-0 there. Because once March starts, ladies and gentlemen, the get-right part of the schedule goes away. At Houston, at Dallas, at Denver, the return of De'Aaron Fox and San Antonio, at Clippers, Knicks, at Warriors, at Suns, home Memphis, home Cleveland, home Chicago, home Milwaukee, and then here's a fun back-to-back Monday, Tuesday, March 24th and 25th at Golden One Center, the revenge-oriented Boston Celtics, and then the very next night, the Oklahoma City Thunder come into play. And then after that, you got 10 games left in the season, which features at Cleveland, Denver, and the Clippers again as 3 of those 10. For the most part, that schedule is semi-winnable. But, hey, by the way, Portland's there. You lost to them already. You're at Orlando. You lost to them. You go at Indiana. That's Tyrese Halliburton. You go at Detroit, who beat you at home, and then you finish against Phoenix, which may have very big playoff implications. I'm telling you right now, once March 1st hits, you got Golden State and Charlotte at home, and you're at Utah. Once March 1st hits, you got a big, big reality check. A lot of people heard Kyle and Katie yesterday, and even I kind of misunderstood what they said at first. When they said the toughest part of the schedule, this is the toughest part of the schedule they're getting through. They meant so far this year, not toughest of the season, because I heard that and I was like, what? This is not the toughest part of the schedule starts March 1st. So, yeah, you're looking at a win-now team with 4 vets in the starting lineup, 1 aging vet, another guy with a $50 million immovable contract that you just acquired that cannot play defense. And, oh, by the way, we can even get into this later if you really want me to be negative. Where's your trade value? Well, we should move some of these guys. Okay. What are you getting for DeMar DeRozan? You probably get, there's value there, don't get me wrong, but what are you getting? Keegan Murray? Kings fans, some of them, love him, but really what's his value? Obviously, you're going to get a nice haul if you traded Domantas Sabonis. Zach LaVine's almost immovable, and Malik Monk ain't bringing an all-star. There's not even a ton of trade value on this team if you realistically look at them. They're a middle-aged-ish team with not a lot of tradable parts unless you're going full rebuild, and they're in a win-now situation, and they're a game or two, they're a game above 500 almost 2/3 of the way through the season. And they got to make some adjustments. That's just the reality. That's what we got the rest of the season. And then we're all going to freak out at the end of the year if they're a play-in one and done, or they even miss it outright. That's where we're at. And it's much like the Fox thing. I think it's very important to be honest with ourselves and take stock and hold these guys accountable if that happens. Because if that happens, and it almost certainly will, one of 2 things is going to happen here. Either Monty McNair and his front office got to go because they don't know how to put a team together, or there needs to be some major restructuring if this is the case and the voices in the room, because Monty McNair and friends are being influenced into making different decisions that they would want to make. We got to be honest. It's not a popular take. It's not one people want to tune in and hear. I understand that. But all I ask is find the lie. Just find the lie there. Challenge me on it. Push back. 3 for Madness coming up next right here on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Is your garage door stuck in the winter blues? Well, February is the perfect time to give it some love. Jason Ross here to tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. And they're here to keep your garage door running smoothly. This February, they're spreading the love with their Sweetheart Special, $150 off a garage door with the purchase of a garage door opener. Now, the experts at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento provide fast, reliable service that's always on time and always done right. From squeaky hinges to full door replacements, they've got you covered. So don't let your garage door be the heartbreaker this season. Visit overheaddoorofsacramento.com for your free estimate. You can get in touch with them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, opening doors to your home and your hearts this February and all throughout the year. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Hey, look, I'm not immune to the fact that the Kings are 28-27, and in 14 of the last 18 years, we'd have been ecstatic with that. I get it. I want it. I would like to do better. At some point, I would just like to do better. Tired of watching these other teams rebuild. From the 916. So Dave's real opinion comes out. Dave, Fox could not play a lick of defense. He used his speed for occasional steals. Monk looks like he's avoiding passing to LaVine at times. LaVine is adjusting. Let's see if they come out all-star break and go on a win streak. I think you're a Fox fanboy and sad he's gone. I bet we stomp San Antonio on his return. People are projecting that argument onto me. I like De'Aaron Fox as a human. I hope we beat his ass every time we play him. I'm not going to do the Fox is gone, move over it thing because you have to grade these things as they progress. And I'll be the first guy to say, I'm happy the trade happened. Look at what this team is doing. But if they're not doing it and LaVine's contract becomes an issue, I'm not going to gloss over it and pom-pom you guys. I'm not going to do it. I don't care if I have one listener left. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm not going to carry water for the organization if that's the case. Your thoughts on me and loving De'Aaron Fox are incredibly overblown. I have laid out my case. I appreciate that the guy speaks his mind. It doesn't bother me. But I don't care if my mom gets traded, if it means the Kings are better as a result. Could not care less. Thank you. Thank you. 3 for Madness, question 1.
How upsetting in reality was this loss to the Pelicans?
In a vacuum, it's look, teams win games, they break streaks. The Pelicans aren't going to go 0-82, and guys like CJ McCollum are very talented. They have talent on that squad. In a vacuum, it's not that upsetting. It sucks they lost, but oh no. I think going into the All-Star break with that loss, knowing the schedule that's coming up, and the fact that it's just recurring. What really scares me about last night's game is that the Kings were healthy. They played their regular 9-man rotation that they've kind of locked into now. You had tremendous performances from Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan had 20, Malik had 24 and 9. You had 22 points off the bench. It's not great. It's not horrific like in the past. And they still lost to a team that had lost 10 in a row. Think about that. And you scored 133 points. So in a vacuum, whatever. It's 1 out of 82. But when you look at the big picture, this is a recurring problem. Who's the go-to guy? Where's the perimeter defense? How do they stop teams from shooting 97% from beyond the arc every single stupid game? These are not new problems. These are season-wide issues. And by the way, they had these when De'Aaron was here. They were just slightly numerically better at defense. I will allow for adjustments. And this is where we really find out. Look, Doug Christie's got a lot of pressure on him right now. He wants that permanent spot, and you can make a great argument that he deserves it. I hope he gets it. I truly do. Nobody roots for Doug more than me, but he's got his work cut out for him. Because he's got to figure out a way to channel those 0-2 Kings and the way they played their team defense with him as the head of the snake. They got to figure out a way to do that with this team somehow. Because it ain't going to be because of individual defense. By the way, the Pelicans shot 42% from beyond the arc yesterday, 50% overall. And you're going to find similar numbers like that. Question 2.
Question 2.
What's the biggest thing the Kings need to work on during the break?
Kind of just covered it, to be honest with you. They need to work on their defense. I'm looking at numbers right now, by the way, just to kind of see if I'm blowing hot air. The Sacramento Kings are the second worst team. Weirdly enough, the Knicks are the worst. They are the second worst team in the NBA when it comes to giving up three-point shots. The Kings allow opponents to shoot 37.7% from beyond the arc. They are 1/10 of a point, I guess, ahead of the Knicks for last. Although over their last 3 games, they have given up 37%. Weirdly enough, they give up a full 1.5% worse at home than on the road. Again, everybody loves a shooter's gym. And the thing that really, I guess much of this year, the earlier part helps. They're actually almost a full percent better than they were last year. And they're still second to last. Who's the best at it? Shockingly, Oklahoma City, 33.2%. They got to figure that out. And if they do not figure that out, good luck. So for me, they need to sit and do a lot of film. They need to talk about philosophy on defense and effort. And they need to talk about communication. They've got to communicate on defense, and you just got to do your job. Don't let the guy behind you down. Or if you're the guy behind the guy, don't let him down either. NBA players are going to blow by defensive players. They're very good at that. But you have to have a second level. And you got to stick with your man, and you've got to trust the other guy to defend. How many times do you see a wide open three because somebody went over to help in the corner on a guy who shoots 29%? And you leave the 40% guy wide open in the corner. Count how many times that happens per game where they leave their assignment. I'm not talking about getting screened out. I'm talking about just help defense. I mean, the thought's good. You're active, but you've got to be smarter and communicate out there. You have to have a defensive quarterback and somebody that's yelling out instructions, much like a goalie in soccer looking ahead at his defenders. You've got to have that communication. Nobody knows better than Doug. Nobody knows how to do that better than Doug Christie, so you have a good guy. But there is a long list of people that were able to perform in the NBA, and it did not translate to being NBA coaches. Most superstars, for one. It's not like Gary Payton's been a phenomenal NBA coach, for example. Great defensively, one of the best of all time. Didn't translate. Doug, he's got to be one of those guys that could translate it. I hope he is. I truly do. But that's what they've got to work on. Question 3.
Question 3.
Are the Kings a better team after the deadline?
I think on paper they are actually a better team. You lost De'Aaron Fox. You replaced him with Zach LaVine. I think De'Aaron Fox is a better player than Zach LaVine. Okay. But you added Jonas Valanciunas, Jake LaRavia. You shored up that bench. I think dollar for dollar, they're very, very similar from a talent point of view and a depth point of view. They might have lost a little bit of talent, maybe a couple points, but they depth-wise are far better. But again, we're talking about the mixture of ingredients. And you just don't have the guys in the starting lineup that play the bulk of the games, that set the tone for the game, that decide what the hot and cold starts are going to be, whether or not you're in a hole going into the third quarter or second quarter. I think you got to find a way to put Keon Ellis in the starting lineup. I don't believe that Keon Ellis is the savior of the world, all-star caliber player that a lot of people think he is. I think maybe he could be, but I don't think he is right now. I think Keon Ellis has his weaknesses. I think Keon Ellis's big weakness is his inconsistency, but I'm not entirely sure that inconsistency isn't fixed a little bit if he has consistent starting minutes. Well, it's not about who starts, it's about who finishes. Well, true to a point, but again, the starter set the tone, number one. Number two, for a guy like Keon, whose biggest issue is probably confidence and being yanked around so much, I think it might actually help him. Not just for a game or two, but a consistent dude. You're the guy. You're the guy there. Run with it. I ain't going to yank you if you go 0-3. Go. And also, by the way, there's a little dog to him, too. You saw that last night with CJ McCollum, the back and forth, the technical foul. He's not backing down to anyone. And I'm not saying there's no other dogs, but this is not a kennel of team. They're not filled with dogs. Sabonis is a dog. Monk's got some dog in him. Keon's a dog. Jonas is a dog. Trey's a dog. But I just named 3 guys that are on the bench. I'd add Jay Crowder in there too, but it's tough to put him on the floor. You got to have a tone setter. As a guy just said in the chat, I agree with you 100%. Or you just keep, you're going to win some games with the starting lineup. You will. No doubt. They're too talented to not. But are you going to win the amount of games that you need to win to get where you want to go, which is a first-round playoff series and, God forbid, a second-round playoff series? And once you get to the playoffs, are you going to have the type of team that can play that slow-down half-court defense? And stop drives. Stop the driving. Unless you go to Hoblet, for example, and you take advantage of their President's Day sales event. If you want to get, and you've been wanting to get, a new Ram Heavy Duty, look, now's the time to buy. Save up to $20,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2024 Ram Heavy Duty, starting as low as $38,995. That is huge savings on heavy duties, and it's not going to last long. Some call themselves the Super Ram Truck Center, but when you need a hard-to-find Ram Heavy Duty, it's Hoblet that has it with over 400. Think about that. Think about 400 Ram Heavy Duty trucks lined up side by side. 400. Like that scene in The Matrix where Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne went into the ammo room, and it was just wall to wall to wall to wall to wall with ammo and guns. That's like those 400 trucks lined up. Don't miss your chance to save. Search, select, save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. Quick 2-minute break. When we come back, let's switch it up a little bit with some football. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are parting ways, according to Adam Schefter and other reports. Let's talk about your Las Vegas Raiders. I know we got some Raider fans in here. This segment's for you, and some other NFL notes as well next.
Malik Monk plays here.
Left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRE 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Friday.
Getting out the door, still some lingering showers expected during the morning commute, but into the afternoon, we should see sun and clouds mixing in. We'll have light winds and highs today in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRE 3 News and the KCRE 3 app.
There's only one place where you'll find thousands of top brand vehicles, 17 dealers, and a friendly staff. Find the perfect ride tailored to fit your budget. Dream big and save even more during the President's Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively the Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Mosley here with Friday's Toyota Tahoe report. You're going to want to hit the road early, my friends, because snow is falling in the Sierras. I know my four-wheel drive Toyota Sequoia is getting me there, so let's go.
Thanks, Johnny. Winter storm warning in effect until tonight, with snow accumulating up to 3 inches with winds reaching up to 15 miles per hour. Tonight will be partially cloudy with a low around 22, and tomorrow will be partially sunny with milder weather. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
So run with me here, Raider fan. Aaron Rodgers, fair to say, when you go back a couple years, Aaron Rodgers is running the flag out. New York's going crazy. Everyone's ready for a new regime in New York. And then the old Achilles heel. I think it's fair to say in retrospect, no offense, Aaron Rodgers did not work out in New York. Was it Aaron that didn't work out in New York, or was it New York that didn't work out for Aaron, though, is the question. I would simply submit to you this. The Jets are a graveyard for quarterbacks. It is, and see if any of this sounds familiar, a poorly run franchise that year upon year has an owner that keeps meddling and getting involved and switching out coaches and switching out general managers. And you're listening to his kid use Madden ratings.
Yeah, at least the other guy's kid is like, what, in his 50s?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a bad place to play. Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson. What was the guy that had like 4 touchdowns in that one game a couple years ago? Is it Mike White? And then Aaron Rodgers. When you look at Aaron Rodgers' year, though, last year, and I'm not going to say he didn't have, anything. But Aaron Rodgers in his first year back from the Achilles issue played in all 17 games, He had a 63% completion percentage. He threw for just under 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. He had a 90.5 QB rating. Guys, when you consider the team he was playing for, that's not bad. That's really not bad. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm zoning in on Aaron Rodgers. And I'm kicking the tires. Not too hard. He's old. And I'm saying, look, dude, we're at a point right now where we have some pretty good draft capital. We got money to spend, whether it's now or down the road. And we need someone to come in here and stabilize the organization. And hopefully, depending on the draft goes, hopefully do a little teaching and tutoring and coaching on the field. What do you think? Come out to Vegas. You're a LA guy anyways. You're close to home. You have an opportunity to come in, work with Pete Carroll, couple of elder statesmen, and we're going to build a really young team around you guys. And the coach and the quarterback, both Hall of Famers, can kind of stabilize everything. I don't see an incredible downside. Now, those are famous last words. Maybe Aaron Rodgers in Vegas is a terrible idea.
It's never a good idea when your answer for someone coming in is, well, it can't get worse.
Can't get worse.
If he were to come in and be bad, we would be considered a joke in the league.
And I got two Raider fans in the chat, one earlier in AB, and Ninja now who just said it. Dave, are you trolling us Raider fans? Emphatic no on Aaron Rodgers. Why? Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying help me out. Why? There's a third Raider fan. Rodgers is not the answer. Guys, by the way, I think I've been clear, but let me be even clearer. I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers as the permanent guy that's going to take you to the title. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers as a perfect bridge for you guys that can help stabilize the organization.
Maybe someone to throw your insanely talented tight end a ball.
That would be neat. Look at his numbers last year. Look at his numbers over his career. I'll allow for age. Still played in all 17, and he did that with the Jets. You're telling me if you can get the guy for 2 years, 40, somewhere in that range? You're telling me you'd rather I mean, what are we doing? This is the same people that are saying an emphatic no on Aaron Rodgers. I guarantee you 2 of them are the exact same people that tried to wrap their head around the fact that Gardner Minshew and AOC were underrated, that were screaming at me about how the Raiders finished the year before last. And now you're like, no, Aaron, emphatic no on Aaron Rodgers because of reasons. What are you talking about? You get a chance to have this guy bridge you up?
Now, I'll accept, I don't want him on my team because I don't like him.
That's fine. You know what? I'd rather have a team of unlikable players that is functional than a team of likable players that sucks. And I look, this is also coming from a franchise that has enjoyed incredible success with guys like Jeff Hostetler and Rich Gannon. They're no stranger to aging quarterbacks, not as old as Rodgers, but still coming over and doing well. Well, I'm not a Rodgers guy. Never really been. I mean, I appreciate the locality and all that. I do think there's more to him than meets the eye, but I'm not indifferent to the fact that he's kind of a wiener sometimes.
He's one of those guys that likes reactions to what he says.
Yes. Campeo says, what did Rodgers do with the Jets last season? Did you walk out of the room, dude? Just went over it. Aaron Rodgers with the Jets last year. All 17 games, 63% completion percentage, 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 picks, 90.5 quarterback rating. Now go look at the guys you had last year. And look, Rodgers isn't. Look, I'm not immune to other answers, but I do think that's the road they should go down. You want Rodgers, Kirk Cousins? I don't think Darnold's going. Russ Wilson, Justin Fields. Not that Fields is necessarily available, but I mean, is that what we're talking? Get Rodgers in there, and as Chris said, let him throw to your superstar tight end. That some guy just compared Aaron Rodgers to Jeff George. Is that what we're doing right now? Ninja says Rodgers won't even show up to practice. Can he even walk now? I'd rather have a football throwing machine at quarterback. This is why Raider fans can't have nice things, man. He played in all 17, including practices. He threw for 4,000 yards in 28-11 last year for the Jets. What are you talking about? Say you don't like the guy. Say you want to go with the youth movement. Say he's just not it for you. But my goodness. I almost kind of hope it happens right now because I want to see the switch up when it does. Yeah, I mean, I had some initial issues, but honestly, after hearing Pete Carroll and Tom Brady talk, honestly, it kind of makes a lot of sense. I don't care if he has ayahuasca retreats, and I don't care if Aaron Rodgers sits in the locker room painting his face with paste like Miss Lippy and Billy.
Weirdo, party of one.
Yeah, I don't care. Who cares? Why do you care what he does? I don't care if he gets a tattoo of a cow on his forehead. Why do you care? Can he throw the ball? Can he throw touchdowns? We'll take a break. When we come back, I got an open segment here if you want to get in. 1-800-920-1140. 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 916-339-1140. We'll go around the world of sports and more coming up right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
The huge President's Day sale is on at Maida Chevy, Sacramento's Silverado headquarters. Save $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on new half-ton Silverado LT after rebates with over 50 in stock. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,250 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
I'm George Washington, and I approved this message. Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers. 5 to the Southern Western 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends over at Jiffy Lube, and they want to show some customer love this month with their February oil change deals you can find online today. Visit jiffylube.com and find a service center near you to see these sweetheart deals. Get it? During the month of February. Here's what you do. Drive into savings at jiffylube.com today and let yourself save in the month of February. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
Toyota's President's Day sales event is on. Don't delay. Now's the time to save big on a new Toyota truck. Right now, get a low lease and $1,000 bonus cash on Tacoma, or get $2,000 cash back or low financing on Tundra. Every new Toyota includes Toyota Care, 2 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. Don't miss Toyota's President's Day sales event because these great deals will be gone soon.
Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 3/3/25.
Hey, Marvel comic fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. This week, get ready for Captain America, Brave New World, the IMAX experience. The best place to immerse yourself in Marvel comic action is on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen with heart-pounding audio.
You asked for me. Here I am. Captain America, caught without his wings.
You want me? Come and get me! Get your tickets early at IMAX.com/Sacramento. And don't miss Captain America, Brave New World, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Coach Christie here letting you know it's the President's Day Sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford. Now through President's Day, shop over 500 new Fords with low payments and special finance rates. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, FolsomLakeFord.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Get your Jiffy Lube drive of the game at 1-800-920-1140. Ashley, welcome in. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. And I do have the Jiffy Lube drive of the game for you today.
Well, you think you do. Let's see. What was it? You tell me what it was. I'll play the clip, and we'll see if they match.
Okay. It's going to be Jonas Valanciunas on a steal, recovered by Zach LaVine, up-court pass to Keon Ellis for the slam in the first quarter.
That is really, really specific, Ashley. Let's see.
Yes, it is.
Let's see if you got the Jiffy Lube drive of the game.
There's Murphy on the right angle now. Changes directions. Drives on LaRavia. Plants in the paint. Ball stripped out of his hands by Trey Lyles. It's grabbed by LaVine. No look pass ahead. Keon Ellis with a hammer. Oh, that's a beautiful transition push by the Kings. And it's 29-25 in favor of the Kings. And that's your Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Be listening to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross tomorrow morning at 7:45. Your chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. A no-look pass ahead from Zach LaVine to Keon Ellis for the rip. Puts the Kings on top, 29-25. It's their biggest advantage of the evening.
Ashley, congratulations. You got yourself a Jiffy Lube $100 gift certificate. You can use that on an oil change, windshield wipers, whatever it may be that Jiffy Lube offers. You can use it all just for listening. And I always love it when a regular listener wins. Just tell me this, Ashley. What morning show makes all your Jiffy Lube dreams come true?
Sacktown Sports 1140.
That's perfect. Look at that. Christopher Laud will take Ashley's information. I'm going to wait, what? What are you talking about? She got it wrong. Ashley didn't get it wrong. Why is everybody saying Ashley got it wrong? That's exactly what he said. Keon Ellis breakaway dunk. It said Valanciunas. Oh, because Valanciunas was involved. It was Zach LaVine. It's fine. That's how it's labeled. Relax. Love of the chat's like, got it wrong. Or did I play the wrong clip? No, I didn't. He said it was a Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Hold on. Let me go back here. Now you guys are messing with me. Come on.
Murphy on the right angle now. Changes directions. Drives on LaRavia. Plants in the paint. Ball stripped out of his hands by Trey Lyles. It's grabbed by LaVine. No look pass ahead. Keon Ellis with a hammer. Oh, that's a beautiful transition push by the Kings. And it's 29-25 in favor of the Kings.
Wait, what part did Ashley get wrong? The Valanciunas part? Because I thought Valanciunas deflected it and LaVine stole it. It said LaVine up to Keon. Not that this matters, but we want to be accurate. No, LaVine stole the... What? This is terrible radio. Hold on.
There's Murphy on the right angle now. Changes directions. Drives on LaRavia. Plants in the paint. Ball stripped out of his hands by Trey Lyles. It's grabbed by LaVine. No look pass ahead. Keon.
Stripped out of his hands by Lyles. Grabbed by LaVine. Ahead to Keon Ellis. I like 17 things to do. You guys are messing with me. I actually hope Ashley got it wrong. I hope that's how it worked out now. just to piss off the chat. I'm fine with that. Chris, did you think Ashley got it wrong?
No.
Thank you. Thank you. See, we're even trying to do something nice for the chat today with the Malik Monk signed jersey.
And if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to go to our YouTube page, and during commercials, you will see the code word. You just enter that code word at our website on the contest page, and you can win a signed Malik Monk jersey.
That's right. And congratulations on the last contest we ever do for the chat. Ever.
Unless we get something pretty cool.
Yeah, unless we get something cool, then that's fine. Kellen Moore is the new coach of the Raiders, the Saints, and was speaking about an ex-Raider in Derek Carr. Let's see what he had to say.
Derek's a tremendous quarterback in this league. I've had so much respect for him, the journey that he's been on. He's a starter in this league. He's a premier player in this league. He's had a great journey, obviously going from Fresno State to the Raiders and now here. Really excited to team up with him and go through this process. And so just like any player on this roster, I just got here a few days ago, and I'm excited to go through this journey with all of them.
Ooh, I can't tell. Kind of brought it back at the end with excited to go through this journey with all of them. But boy, did that first part of that sound like they're getting ready to say goodbye to Derek Carr. Oh, he's a great guy. Great quarterback. Love his journey.
He's such a good guy. People just don't want to say, like, hey, we're just going into a different direction.
No, of course you don't. I love Derek Carr. I know Raider fan doesn't. I love Derek Carr.
It's one of those things of just like, oh man, you know what his problem is? It's like he doesn't work hard enough, and he doesn't get it. And it's just like he just is a fine quarterback, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's funny how we get mad at guys like Derek Carr. Like, you can say he's not good enough. I don't think it's sort of like lack of trying. Why do we get mad at people when they're not as good as who we want them to be? Maybe they're just not that good. That's okay. It's not what we want. Here's a highlight for all of you, just cuz.
Norm dives to the rim, leaves it off Simmons. The floater off the window. A dozen for Ben in his debut. And the Clippers on the high side, 108-106.
Okay, also, what's with the... Okay, no, I'm not... That was kind of a funny play-by-play voice.
Hey, everybody! Leaves it off Simmons. The floater off the window. A dozen for Ben in his debut. And the Clippers on the high side, 108-106.
Hey, they're all superheroes. I love them to death. But Ben Simmons in his debut for the Clippers off the bench, 12 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block, 0 turnovers, 4 of 5. Made all his free throws. Okay, well. Yeah, you're right. Couldn't use that. Don't listen to old Uncle Dave. It was Ben Simmons' bit. Couldn't use that at all. Couldn't use that at the point, could you? Right? Couldn't use that defense at all. I'm just being silly. Don't be angry at me. Also, this is going on in Golden State, too. I guess we should mention it.
Curry doubled, finds the cutter. Draymond gets it to the right corner. There's Jimmy Butler. 3-ball right corner pocket. 71-53. Biggest lead of the night for Golden State is right now.
That's a road win against the Rockets for the 28-27 Warriors. Jimmy Butler, 19 points, 8 boards, 4 assists.
See that Jimmy Butler?
I did. So I was going to ask you about that. This is a visual thing, but Jimmy Butler kind of, there's a little Paul Pierce going on as he was going back to the bench. How do I say this? There might be kids in the car. A very unfortunate part of the back of his uniform shorts was discolored in a color you don't want it to be discolored with. And the good news about Jimmy Butler, as long as somebody has the stones to ask, he'll probably answer it if you show him a photo. That's just how he is, because it clearly looks like either there's some number 1 there or some unfortunately discolored number 2 there. And it was very, very apparent. It's online if you haven't seen it. Meanwhile, the Warriors have won 3
They
of 4.
sat in someone's nachos, guys.
I mean, and maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's the answer. That might just be the answer. Our chat guys are, is this true? Did a commercial just spin out right in the middle of the show? I hate that if that happened, and we have no control over that. I don't think. Do we have any control? We don't have any control over that. Does that happen? Does it just randomly run into a commercial sometimes in the middle of the show?
I don't know.
I mean, either. I guess I don't know. How would you know?
Yeah. We're here.
But the guy who's saying that happened is Chris Guerrero, which...
No, I think like if you're watching it and for some reason you stop to go do something or that, or you pause it or whatever, and you come back to play it again, then you could
then you might get the commercial.
Yeah.
I actually watched something off of YouTube on my TV yesterday because it was like an hour long. I know you're not a golf guy, Chris, but Bryson DeChambeau's YouTube channel is actually incredible.
I have been watching his, like when he was doing that hole-in-one challenge.
It's very entertaining. He's been doing this break 50 challenge where he and a couple other guys, they basically play a scramble, a 3-person scramble, and they try to break 50. And I don't know what the hell course they were playing at. I was in Frisco, Texas, but like some of these par 5s were like 350 yards, a very short course, but they ended up shooting, I want to say, a 48. And it's very, very, I was going to watch the first round of the Genesis last night. Usually I watch golf when I need to go to sleep. And I ended up watching this Bryson DeChambeau breaking 50 thing. Good for him. Good for him, because that was also YouTube TV needs to get their act together with this whole CBS Paramount thing, and they keep raising rates. I was like an evangelist for YouTube TV for a long time, but
Me too.
I'm always going to tell it straight. But there's now room for the next thing. First it was PS View. Then YouTube TV took over. Now I'm just waiting for the new one to come in and undercut them.
I found out about Hulu that they've also got Kings games. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I look it up. It's the same price.
Really?
It's $82.
I think that's kind of the cycle, is that you get this new thing that undercuts everybody and you stick with them for a few years. And then after they've lost $7 billion and raise the rates or go out of business, you find the new place that's going to lose $7 billion. That's what I'm waiting on right now. Leezy on the chat as we go to break. Dave discovered Billie Eilish and YouTube TV. That's actually true. That's actually it.
I'll say you're one of the first people I knew that cut the cord.
Yeah, it was not, and not that it was very scary. Not the easiest decision. Now I literally have a Fire Stick in my backpack, and I don't know why. I just found this out last night, but I have a Fire Stick and a remote in my center console. I don't have an answer for you. Oh, I know why. It's because it's the one that you play Xbox games on. So I was taking to a friend's house. We'll take a break because I'm 12. When we come back, it's the All-Star break.
You guys want to play Saga?
That's exactly. Hey, we can play Halo together. When we come back, we'll open up the phone lines at 1-800-920-1140. We're taking stock at the All-Star break. Has the team exceeded, met, or fallen below your expectations? And what do you want Doug Christie and friends to work on during the break? We'll get to all that next.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! A ball turns one out and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line, golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Friday. Getting out the door, still some lingering showers expected during the morning commute, but into the afternoon, we should see sun and clouds mixing in. We'll have light winds and highs today in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The President's Day sales event is back at Folsom Lake Kia. Save a bunch of presidents on your favorite new Kia models, all with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Go see the team you can trust. My friends at Folsom Lake Kia.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Every school day was a vaping day for me. It wasn't a social thing anymore. Suddenly it became something I was doing independently every day. Recently, I was sitting next to somebody on the freeway, and I saw them vaping. I was like, wow, is that what I look like? And that didn't sit too well with me. That image has been a big motivation to quit.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
California, it's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon. 4 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now through February 17th and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and counting. Or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end February 17th. So go to your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
The problem is, YouTube TV is just so damn convenient. But to the point we were talking about earlier, in 2019, basic YouTube TV was $35.
I think I jumped on, I think it was 50.
In 2020, YouTube TV was 50. 2022, it was $65. Last year, $73. This year, $83. Now, here's the thing. I was paying like $200-$300 for DirecTV at one point. It's $83 is not It would be fine if it was just $83. Now add in Peacock, or Max,
Netflix,
Hulu. Now I do the Hulu, Disney, ESPN bundle. But you're talking if you got Peacock, Paramount, Netflix, and then the Hulu blah 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 bundle.
Don't forget Amazon.
No, because I think don't you get Amazon if you have Amazon Prime though? I think.
You still have to get
it. But I'm just saying, I'm comfortable with what I pay for Amazon Prime and the deal I get. It's like the two best things I probably pay for are, and that I get the most use out of, is Amazon Prime and Walmart Plus, because grocery delivery. But you're talking about now. I mean, it's still around $200 a month. That's a lot, but also I don't have to get all those other channels. I mean, I don't even know why the hell I have Paramount. I will say this.
I have it because that's the only way you can watch Champions
No,
League.
that's a good point. No, you're right. I would say to a lot of people, if you have credit cards, check with your credit cards, because a lot of them have deals. I know I use one of mine, and it gives me like, what is it? I think it gives me like $5 off of each one that they do in a. If you pay for it with your credit card, you get the points on it, but then also you get like a $5 per. I think on all but Paramount, I get $5 back a month. So there's ways to save money with that. You really should check if you're not looking on the app. If you do have credit cards, if you're not looking on the app for offers, like especially Amex has really, really good offers if you have one sometimes, and you just gotta use them, and then you got to pay through your Amex or whatever card it is, and you can find ways to save. I probably save about $25 a month through my credit cards. But yeah, no, for real. It is. Hold on. What is this? Is this anything I care about? Chris Haynes reporting the league and players union are going to meet together with players Sunday prior to the All-Star game to highly stress the importance of competing for fans and for the business.
Good at business.
I mean, that'll take care of it.
Come on.
that'll take care of it.
The bad thing is an All-Star game is a very American concept. It doesn't work anywhere. And we've gotten to the point in football, they just got rid of it.
That's the thing. Like,
it's tough, especially with how grueling an NBA season is and how long the playoffs are. And then you've got a lot of these all-stars also play in the Olympics. It's so time to give them rest time. And so when they should be able to, it's like, hey, you got to go somewhere. You've got to do all this media. You have to hit up all your endorsements. You have to do all this. Oh, and then start playing again. Oh, and while you're at it, play one of the best games that you can.
The only reason any of these players care about it, the only reason is because they get bonuses. Like, they don't care. I'm not saying every play. Look, there's certainly players, especially first, second, that it's an honor to be an all-star and all that. And it's great networking. Great for shoe deals and endorsements. A lot of them are going to be filming commercials all week in San Francisco. But, hey, guys, look, really need you to play hard. I put out a poll during the break. We're only a couple minutes into it. 110 votes, so very, very new poll. At the All-Star break, let's talk about your expectations for the Kings from preseason. Have they met expectations? Have they exceeded expectations? Have they fallen short of expectations? Chris, give me your percentages. What do you think is winning, and what percent?
I'm guessing fallen short.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that is at 43%.
Okay. And then what do you think second? Met them or exceeded them?
I will say met them.
Okay. You are correct. Fallen short has the lead. It's a slight lead, though. 85% of respondents say the Kings have fallen short on their preseason expectations. 13% 13% say they've met them. And 2% say they have exceeded them. Guys, I see you talk about Dave. Get an unlocked Fire Stick. Get a Super Bug. Get this. Get that. Look. First off, let me just say this: that's illegal, and I would never do something like that because it's illegal, and I don't believe in stealing things. But I do have a friend who used to do it. Going all the way back to, he actually had a card reader that was connected to a USB port in his computer for DirecTV cards. And you would download the little code, and then you would it would write on the card reader, and then you insert the card in your DirecTV box, and you get every channel. And by every channel, I do in fact mean every single channel. And then he did the little box you order off of eBay or whatever, and it comes with God, what is that software? It starts with a K. It's not Kindle, but it's something like that. Cody, thank you. That's what he said. See, I have no idea. Cody, and then he kept using like Stream East. Here's my thing. Number one, it's not consistent. Number two, you constantly have to change it around. Number three, occasionally it's like, well, click this link to open up the thing. And I'm always worried as soon as I click that link, that sucker's going to, and by I mean him, he always tells me that clicking those links, that's how you get in trouble. So don't steal.
That poll is also on YouTube.
I see that just now at the All-Star break. Have the Kings met, exceeded, or fallen short of expectations? Guys in the YouTube are still getting ads, huh? Okay. So the Twitter poll says the Kings have not met expectations. Overwhelmingly. So the question is that on the is that on the team, or is that on people having expectations that were too high? Honestly, my expectations were a lot higher. I thought getting DeRozan and going Fox, DeRozan, Murray, Sabonis, and I was convinced they were going to get a 4 from somewhere. Silly me. That was an upgrade from last year. And I was thinking, I think in the preseason I said I think there'll be a 6 somewhere near there. By the way, season's not over. Maybe my expectations were too high. I also think it's okay to have expectations. I also think it's okay not to be like, well, we've always sucked. We're a game over 500 is fine. As we go to break, let's bring in old Mitch. Good morning, Mitch.
This call is no longer being recorded.
What? Mitch? Mitch?
How we doing?
Mitch,
Yes,
Mitch, hold on, Mitch.
Even though I'm driving,
Mitch.
I'm aware. How you doing? This All-Star game?
Mitch?
I think it's...
Hey, Mitch?
Hello?
Hi, Mitch. I know. I can hear you. Yeah, I can. Hey, why did it say this call is no longer being recorded at the start of our call? Are you recording your calls, Mitch?
No, it's something with the new software. It's something with the new software. I don't know what it's just too much to do with. Right now I'm driving, so the hand thing. Input.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. You're not a cop. Go ahead.
No, I wish I was. I would have retired earlier.
Good point.
I would have had more respect, I think.
That's true.
But anyway, the All-Star game, I don't think it's necessary. It's a big waste of time. They play enough games, even though it's a perfect number, 82. Same thing with baseball. I think I'm a little disappointed because the Kings actually, at the beginning of the season, had 3 or 4 really good players, not stars, not superstars. Then they go trading Fox. They finally made some moves that I like. But with they get into a playing game, I'd rather than be in the lottery for Cooper Flagg or the 2 guys from Rutgers.
Thank you, Mitch. This call is not being recorded. We'll take a break. When we come back, The Athletic has put out their grades for each team, including the Sacramento Kings. Let's also take a look at the surprises, good and bad, as we look back at the first half, sort of the NBA season. Your phone calls at 1-800-912-1140. And you know what? Let's get a quick NBA Finals pick at the All-Star break as well. We're having fun. The last, hour 45. Don't forget, Brendan Nunes, Kings Insider, will help us recap at 9. He had some pretty strong opinions last night after the game. Sac Republic owner Kevin Nagel joins us at 9:13 on the heels of this new USL announcement. And also as we get closer to the Sac Republic season with a new coach for the first time in many, many years. So we'll get to all that right after this.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the President's Day sales event?
It's time for some good old-fashioned doorbusters. Right now, save up to $20,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2024 Ram trucks. That's the kind of savings you don't usually see until Memorial Day, and definitely not on Ram heavy duties. But this weekend at Hoblet, it's happening.
And you have 30 to choose from?
That's right. Plus, you can also get 0% financing for 72 months on a bunch of new models, including hybrids. But you better hurry in. These deals only last through President's Day.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. 20,000 total net savings after 13,000 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% off MSRP factory cash, sample VIN savings 8013, plus 4,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons and 1,000 trade-in assistance for 2005 or newer under 160,000 mile vehicle. Sample VIN 371844. 0% financing for 72 months on new Wagoneer S, 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE, and 2024 Dodge Hornet. $13.89 per thousand finance on approved credit through Stellantis Financial. See dealer for details.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Well, we've got the Twitter poll going. Have the Kings met, exceeded, or fallen short of expectations? 88% have fallen short. 11% say they've met them. 1% now says they have been exceeded. And it kind of mirrors what we've got in the chat on YouTube here. 80% say they've fallen short. 20% say they've met them. And in true chat form, 0% say they've exceeded them. We've got some Doug Christie sound from last night we'll get to momentarily. What did I want to do here, guys? Nope, I don't want to do that. And no, I don't want to do that either. Was it something I had? I think it's something I had up on Twitter here. When you look at the grades overall for the Kings, Anthony Slater on The Athletic has given the Kings a C-. A C-. Quoting, "They'd tell you their hands were forced, but the fact remains the Kings traded their star franchise guard in the middle of a win-now season and received back a solid but worse player on a currently bigger contract. The cheap Jonas Valanciunas and Jake LaRavia acquisitions should boost their thin depth. That 2031 unprotected Minnesota first acquired in the Fox deal could have some real long-term value and wasn't a horrible return. But the grand plan was never to lose Fox. In doing so, the Kings are further away from their goal of contention and not that much better stocked for a future rebuild they seem immune to doing anyways." I actually think Anthony Slater is I don't have any issues with that. I think he's actually kind of dead on. This team is immune to a rebuild. Ownership wants no part of that. They want to win now. They put together the team to win now. And that's a big reason why this team is kind of in perpetual, limbo, if you will, because we're never that great. And even when we're bad, we're not bad enough. And then even when we're bad enough, we don't win the damn lottery. I think there's going to be some tough issues, some tough conversations to have this summer. We'll discuss that with Brendan Nunes at 9. But I would say this. I think if this team misses the play-in or playoffs, and maybe even if they make the play-in and they don't graduate to a playoff series for the second year in a row, I think we're going to, and we're not there yet, guys, but I think we're going to have some serious rebuilding conversations to have. And I mean rebuild. I mean, you hold on to, the youngs if you can. It's kind of funny that the perception, and I think it's correct, ownership would not want to rebuild when you're going to save like a butt ton of money doing it in the interim as well. It's actually cheaper. I'm just saying. But shortcuts. That's what's killed us. You try to take shortcuts. Biggest surprises this year. I don't know. Do we count Oklahoma City as a surprise? They got an A+ grade, by the way. I don't know that it's a surprise. I think we all expected them to do very well. Oh, by the way, they did very well last year. They've kind of crossed the Rubicon, if you will, from like, oh, look at cute Oklahoma City Thunder. Hey, they had the second best record in the NBA along with the Nuggets. They had the 1 seed last year. So I think it's a little bit difficult to call the Thunder a surprise when they were the 1 seed in the West.
The Thunder feel like what people thought Memphis was going to be a couple years ago.
I think that's a very, very, very good comparison, Chris. I do. And I think they're at the point this year where, let's be honest, if the Thunder do anything but make the finals, I think if they make the finals, hey, they're young, they're this, they're that, they're still stocked, they're on the right track, tough finals loss. I think, honestly, if they go Western Conference Finals or worse, it's going to be one of those, well, they're a really good regular season team, and Sam Presti's good at that, but ultimately you have to have super-duper stars, more than one, to win the whole thing, and they're just never going to. I think that's going to be a big part of the conversation on the Thunder if they don't make the finals.
The playoffs are different. You're not going to get fouls like you get in the regular season.
That's exactly right. Did you hear? Did you see the clip of? Was it the Minnesota crowd? I think chanting "Free Throw Merchant" at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he actually started laughing. Free throw merchant, clap, 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 clap. The Cleveland Cavaliers, I think, are a far bigger surprise than the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not that they weren't talented, not that you didn't expect them to be a playoff team. They were the 4 seed last year, 48-34. But I think they're a far bigger surprise than the Thunder, and I think they're the biggest surprise in the NBA from a positive standpoint. They are at they've matched the Thunder. They have the 2 best records at 44-10. They have a 5.5 game lead on the Celtics, and they just continue. Is it a fluke? Is it a fluke? Is it a fluke? They just continue to absolutely excel. And even when you look at their losses this year, they lost at Boston. They lost at Miami. They lost at home against Indiana, got blown out at Oklahoma City. What's really weird about them, and then another loss to Boston. What's funny is 5 of their losses, 2 of them came to Houston. 2 of them came to Atlanta consecutively. And then a Philadelphia loss. There's a couple of weird losses in there. I'm not counting the Houston ones as bad. But 2 Atlanta and a Philly loss for a team that has 10 games, that's 30% of your losses to weird teams that have no business beating you. Still, though, I think those are the 2 obvious surprises, if you will. The Celtics don't really surprise me. They're the 2 seed. They're fine. The Knicks, we thought they'd be better. They're fine. I think on the negative end, at least in the East, I'm incredibly surprised at the Sixers. Look, it makes sense. But I don't know that anybody had the Sixers at 20-34 and missing the playoffs this year. And if you did, congratulations. I don't think with the Grizzlies are necessarily a surprise. Ja Morant's back and healthy. They're the 2 seed. There's a lot of basketball to go. They'll probably finish in the 3 or 4, but I do think the Rockets are a bit of a surprise at 34 and 21. Honestly, last year they started out gangbusters. They finished out 500. I just don't think they were there yet mentally and youth-wise this year. I don't think that 34 and 21 is a fluke. They're playing 6-20 ball, and I don't really – the way they play defense, they're so well coached. I don't see that being an issue. I think the Timberwolves are a bit of a surprise. Again, much like the Sixers, you look at it and you go, okay, they're surprising in the sense that I think there were some people that kind of underscored or they underestimated missing Karl Anthony Towns on this team and replacing him with Julius Randle. That's something I was wrong about last year, wanting Julius on this team. At least if you believe he would have performed the same here as he has in Minnesota. Great numbers. Bad attitude. I don't even know what to call the Mavericks. Like, on one hand, the Mavericks are 30 and 26. They did go to the finals last year, so you'd say they regressed. On the other hand, dude, they traded Luka Doncic. How the hell do you even grade them? So they got an F from The Athletic saying even if it were true Luka Doncic lacked personal discipline and didn't like to practice, and I believe this was true, it didn't make sense for Mavs management to trade him this way. Why not play the season out and reevaluate the decision this summer? The only player that has a higher playoff scoring average than Doncic is Michael Jordan. Trading a 25-year-old with that type of talent for someone who's 6 years older and more injury prone doesn't add up. I mean, it really comes down to this with the Doncic trade. Unless Luka Doncic suffers a career-altering or ending injury in the next year or two, or he just becomes Jabba the Hutt, it's going to go down as one of the worst decisions in NBA history and one of the most inexplainable decisions in NBA history. So bad that it honestly needs to be investigated. I don't know why we're not talking about it more. It needs to be investigated by a third party. Is Nico Harrison that stupid? And if there's proprietary reasons they don't want to share as to why they made the trade, and look, I don't even want to say it out loud, but God forbid they found something out about Luka or his camp that just they don't even want to share, but they didn't want any. You never know what it would be. Then share it with the third party. And let them publish their findings without the redacted info. But that trade was so inexcusable and inexplicable and bad, it needs a literal third-party investigation. We'll take a break. When we come back, Jason's gone. The show rolls on. He and Chris have Kings Rewind. We'll do it next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Buy with $0 down at Folsom Lake Ford during the President's Day Sell-a-thon. New F-150, Escapes, Explorers, $0 down on any new Ford with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford and tell them Coach Christie sent you.
Our rivers are a part of Sacramento that we can all take pride in. But just one piece of litter can ruin the picture. Alan Stiles here from Sacktown Sports. Let's keep our community beautiful and make Sacramento litter-free. Learn how at BeRiverFriendly.net.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
This 49er Injury Report is brought to you by Jeremy Winter, attorney at law. He cares because he's been there. After an injury-plagued 2024 season, which ended 6-11 and out of the playoffs, the 49ers will focus on getting healthy in the offseason. Running backs Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, and Isaac Guerrero all suffered season-ending injuries. Left tackle Trent Williams' ankle kept him out late in the year, and Brock Purdy missed the season finale with a hurt elbow. 49ers hope to enter 2025 with a full roster back intact.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
The huge President's Day sale is on at Maida Chevy, Sacramento's Silverado headquarters.
Save $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on new half-ton Silverado LT after rebates with over 50 in stock.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$10,250 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
I'm George Washington, and I approved this message. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. 5 to the Southern Rust 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Jason's gone. And he'll be back Monday. I will.
You think so?
That's what he said, right?
I don't think he'll be in Monday.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Chris. Yes. Jason and all of us will be off Monday for the holiday. And then Jason is scheduled to be back Tuesday. He's taking a long weekend. Good for him.
Looks like a lot of people are taking a long weekend.
Yeah. Who else? Anyone?
I haven't seen anyone around here.
No. Oh,
Tom's gone.
Everyone's gone, dude. You're 100% right. This place, it's Pat and Cody and us on this floor. Angie just showed up, so there's that. Jason's scheduled to be back Tuesday, but that's up in the air. I'm off next week, but I may be doing the show Tuesday. It's up to Jason. If he wants to take an extended weekend, all on him, and I'll do the show Tuesday, miss Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or he'll be back Tuesday, and we'll all be full strength a week from Monday.
I think we should just start grabbing host names out of a hat to see who's hosting each day.
Just to see who's here. And then that's really it. Then we're pretty much done. I know I everybody cares about this, but you can write it down. So you can, it's no surprise. I do have to, at some point on spring break, which I think is end of April.
Spring break.
I got to take a couple days to college visit, wherever that will be. Hopefully. We get results next month.
American River College.
We have UCLA, USC, Loyola Marymount, NYU, Vassar, which I think is in New York. I probably should know this. And Colorado. It's a rando.
This seems like a cash grab.
How funny would that be if my daughter got into Colorado? Now I got to be like a Colorado fan, Deion Sanders, all that.
I was going to say, will she, if he ends up leaving, will she still go to Colorado?
She'll enter the portal. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Remember, it's not too late. Oh, that's what I was going to say. And then we'll get into King's Rewind here. There was a mystery solved yesterday. So just a quick update for everybody. We had the Crumble Cookies fight on the air yesterday. Crumble Chris came in 2 days ago. Scott Marsh is the guy that handles that connection. We love him for it. Crumble Chris comes in every once in a while. It's like Santa Claus, right? He brings Crumble Cookies, which he doesn't have to do, although it'd be weird if he showed up one day and he just didn't have it. We all try to like mask our disappointment. So he shows up with the Crumble Cookies. We get some Crumble Cookies. Jason didn't. And then we make a big deal because there were 2 boxes, one for downstairs for all the salespeople and everybody, one for upstairs. So during Alan's show, he texts us on the host text and is like, hey, Scott came up, said, are you done? And then grabbed the cookies and took them downstairs. And I guess we brought Scott up yesterday. He took them down to the promotions people. I was like, no, downstairs gets a box. We get a box. Come on. Well, shortly thereafter, before the end of the show, not 1, but 2 boxes of Crumble Cookies show up. And one of them says for Sacktown Sports only on the box. So after the show, I go down to Scott and I was like, yeah, Crumble Chris brought by these 2 boxes of cookies. How cool was that? And they brought them up and blah, blah, blah. And Scott goes, huh? I go, what do you mean, huh? He goes, no, dude. He goes, I went and got that box. I went and got that.
The one he came in with, he went and got.
He went and got. I thought he got both. Turns out he went and got a box of Crumble Cookies and wrote the whole for Sacktown Sports only on it, I think. And then Crumble Chris separately came by and dropped off a box of Crumble Cookies. I didn't know that till after the show. I actually felt bad that Scott went and did that. I legitimately was like, dude, you didn't have to do that. We're just having fun. But it ended up, there were 2 boxes of Crumble Cookies.
I grabbed an extra one.
Well, you know what? I show up today. There's no Crumble Cookies. How do we not have any leftovers? You know what we need, dude? We need a safe.
Show safe.
We need a show safe where we have the combo.
You know what I think now that we're talking about show safe, I'm thinking of this idea. You know how the downstairs always gets something and it's like Crumble Cookies, for example.
Yeah.
There should be an 1140 safe.
Yes.
Where we put the cookies in there.
Uh-huh.
And the way you get one is you answer a question about one of the shows on 1140.
I actually think that is a phenomenal idea. I do. Because I could think of 2 of our salespeople that would have access sometimes to that safe. I think that is a fantastic idea. Golly, man. Even after all of that, I mean, look, I fully, and I'd like to know what happened because we'll ask him when he comes in. I'm not immune to the idea that Kyle Ledbetter rolled away with one of those boxes. That would be incredibly Kyle Ledbetter-esh, but I don't want to accuse him. And if he does come in and admit to it, my guess is he'll probably say, well, there was like 2 left, and I took them. Was there? Are you sure? So that solves that. You want to get to rewind?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, King's Rewind right now, please. Kings lost last night. Here we go. Jason Ross.
The Kings and Pelicans closed out the pre-All-Star break portion of the schedule last night in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah.
With an extra day in the Big Easy, did the Kings visit Café Du Monde for a beignet? How about Hanson Snowbliz for a snowball? Or a stopover at a New Orleans institution? That's Dookie Chase.
Get in my belly!
Right.
The reality is the Kings are on a business trip and they need a victory going into the much-needed break.
good at business.
The Pelicans were going to be without their beast, Zion Williamson.
Wait, did you see Deuce and Mo making national news, like Barstool and all that?
National news by Barstool.
Barstool. And then, I saw it on some Pelicans thing. I guess, okay. They basically just said, like, stay away from the beignets. And then Morgan even says, we're not fat shaming. We're just saying, whatever.
The game was beignet or nay.
Right. And now it's like a whole thing where, like, they were cracking on Zion.
They definitely don't listen to this show.
Seriously. All right, back to you.
The Kings couldn't take advantage in the first quarter as they played even with the Pels for most of the quarter. And the first quarter highlight was an equipment malfunction that produced a 15-minute delay.
What is going on in there? Why? What is taking so long? I wasted all day here for you.
That delay was long enough for me, as Chris and Henry and I in studio, to enjoy some of Chris's country fried cabbage. Nice job, Chris.
Do not eat. Taste. Savor. Relish. Consider every morsel that you place inside your mouth.
You're so stupid.
Be mindful. Do not eat. Our menu is too precious for that.
How was it, by the way? Was it good?
It was good. And he got the name wrong again. It's Southern fried cabbage.
What did he say? Chicken fried?
He said country fried.
Back to you.
In the second quarter, the Kings were surprisingly down by 7 at 48-41, but then went on a 15-0 run to take their largest lead of the half. The first half heroes included Zach LaVine, who scored 16.
Veen!
Damn it. Thank you, Chris.
And DeMontis Sabonis, who had another double-double with 11 and 10. The injury-riddled Pelicans would begin the second half without young starting center Misi, and the opportunity to pounce was right there for the Kings.
I can't wait to kill you.
Last game and through the first half of this one, CJ McCollum, the Kings killer, actually struggled. But in the third quarter, he did not, as he was on fire, keeping the Pels in the game.
Stefan Urquelle.
CJ went 7 of 8 and 4 of 5 from 3 for 21 points in the third quarter. His efforts put the Pels up 3 after 3.
Hey, stop it!
Also near the end of the third, it got a little chippy between CJ and Keon, which sets us up for some drama in the fourth.
You love drama!
That's right.
In the fourth, the Kings trailed 117-112 with under 5 minutes to go, but hit the Pelicans with a timely 10-0 run to take the lead. Part of that was a tech and an assist from the net on a Domas hoop.
You shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
The Pelicans showed a lot of heart and answered back with an 8-0 run of their own to take a 3-point lead with 10.2 seconds to go. Some Malik Monk heroics saved the Kings as he rebounded a missed free throw by Sabonis and tied the game in regulation.
I'm a pizza guy.
With time running out, CJ McCollum got to the hoop with time expiring, but he missed at the buzzer, and we're going to overtime.
That's right.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
In OT, the water was not shut off for CJ. He had just 6 points at the half and eventually scored 43 in the game.
Stop! He's already dead.
So true.
The Pelicans win in OT, snapping their 10-game losing streak.
Oh, good for you.
The Kings' 3-game win streak comes to an end, and they go into the break with a bad taste in their mouth.
Is that onion and ketchup?
I know that scene.
In the loss, DeMontis Sabonis tied his career high with 28 rebounds, and Zach LaVine had a breakout game with 32 points and 10 assists, but it just didn't matter because it was a disappointing L for the Kings.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
Next matchup is 1 week from tonight at G1C, when the Kings will host the Golden State Warriors in a critical matchup with teams tied at 28 and 27.
Okay, fine. You can keep your small-minded podunk town with no culture and an average Chinatown at best. And P.S., your trolleys are stupid. They make you look like a child.
And that is your
That
King's
is
Rewind.
your King's Rewind. Congratulations. Well done, Jason Ross. Well done, Chris Verlaud. Can even make a bad game at least a little fun. Brendan Nunes will join us at the top of the hour. Hopefully. We haven't gotten him yet.
I've been texting him.
When we come back, who's hot, who's not, we'll recap 3 in the key as well. See how we did as we come up on the All-Star break. We're recapping the first part of the season right here on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Mosley here with Friday's Toyota Tahoe report. You're going to want to hit the road early, my friends, because snow is falling in the Sierras. I know my four-wheel drive Toyota Sequoia is getting me there, so let's go.
Thanks, Johnny. Winter storm warning in effect until tonight, with snow accumulating up to 3 inches with winds reaching up to 15 miles per hour. Tonight will be partially cloudy with a low around 22, and tomorrow will be partially sunny with milder weather. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
I joined the military for my kid and his mom. I miss my son a lot. One of the things with the military is tobacco, but I saw a lot of people try to deal with mental issues. Everyone's vaping constantly. After my first hit of a vape, I was hooked like that. Once I got back home from my deployment, I caught my son trying to hit my vape. That was it. I had to quit.
Californians are beating big tobacco. You can too. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Right now, get up to a $15 gift card after rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for the President's Day sales event?
It's time for some good old-fashioned doorbusters. Right now, save up to $20,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2024 Ram trucks. That's the kind of savings you don't usually see until Memorial Day, and definitely not on Ram heavy duties. But this weekend at Hoblet, it's happening.
And you have 30 to choose from?
That's right. Plus, you can also get 0% financing for 72 months on a bunch of new models, including hybrids. But you better hurry in. These deals only last through President's Day.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. 20,000 total net savings after 13,000 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% off MSRP factory cash, sample VIN savings 8013, plus 4,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons and 1,000 trade-in assistance for 2005 or newer under 160,000 mile vehicle. Sample VIN 371844. 0% financing for 72 months on new Wagoneer S, 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, and 2024 Dodge Hornet. $13.89 per thousand finance on approved credit through Stellantis Financial. See dealer for details.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Once in a while, where I show Chris something from the internet that he hasn't seen.
It's very rare.
Very rare. And a lot of times,
especially in the UK,
a lot of times I found that the things that you haven't seen are like the things I would bet $1 million you have seen, because you've seen everything. So I'm actually really excited about that. Who's hot?
I'm going to start this a little different. I'm going to go with who's not.
Oh, okay.
And that was CJ McCollum's first half.
Oh, okay.
In the first half of last night's game against the Kings, CJ McCollum, he was only 3 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 2 for 3. He only had 6 points in the first half.
Yeah, he sucks. But
unfortunately, there was a second half of basketball. And that is who's hot.
Who's hot?
CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
In the second half and overtime last night, he was 3 of 18, 7 of 10 from 3, 3 of 4 in overtime for 37 points, which is insanity.
And where was Keon Ellis for a lot of this? That's my big problem. Like at some point, this guy is repeatedly stabbing you in the neck, and the doctor is like playing video games on the bench. I'm not trying to say that Keon Ellis would have stopped CJ McCollum. He is a very talented scorer, and he hates the Sacramento, or he loves the Sacramento Kings, at least loves playing us. But he would have done better. And in an overtime game, every basket literally counts. That's why I was pissed about the basket at the end of the second half that was disallowed because of the shot clock issue. In an overtime game, that counts. It means something. It may not be the whole reason, but it matters. I don't care if Keon Ellis isn't scoring. I don't. When you got, there are two sides. What is the difference? And I wish we could just adopt this thought process. If you make a basket or you directly prevent a basket, it's the net same result for your team. I wish there was a way to quantify that. Exactly. There's no perfect way to quantify it, but a guy could score 38 points, but if there was a way we could see but he prevented 38 points and he only scored 4, that's a net gain of 34 points for your team.
It's like a plus.
Like a plus minus, if you will, but that relies on everybody else too. And I know they have they've got deep metrics on what a dude shoot. Probably the closest one is when you show, for example, CJ McCollum's shooting percentage versus everybody in the NBA and his shooting percentage specifically when Keon Ellis is guarding him. The problem is that even that can be skewed because Keon Ellis might be guarding him and then they screen for Keon Ellis and then that forces CJ McCollum into a position that's not advantageous to him, because they had to screen Ellis off of him. And then who do you give the credit for that? It's very difficult to quantify. That is, defense is maybe the one thing in sports, one of the few, where I would say the eye test does matter. I hate the term eye test because often that term eye test is used for, I can't argue my way out of this point I'm trying to prove. So I'm going to put something that's completely unquantifiable in front of you that you can't argue against. But in the case of defense, that's one of those things where you really do have to watch. And that's why, for example, Keegan Murray's value is so much more than just, you can criticize his game all you want, and you're going to be right about a lot of it, but his value is so much more than the box score. If you're just looking at Keegan Murray for box score, he should be like the 8th man off the bench. But when you factor in his defense, then it becomes a conversation. In Keon Ellis's case, I don't understand. I really don't. 23 minutes on the night. On a night where, look, DeRozan didn't have a terrible night. He was 9-9 from the line with 20 points, but he was 5 of 16. And you're not getting plus defense out of him. Malik, LaVine, and DeRozan are all 3 below average defenders. It's okay to admit that. So 60% of the team you have on the floor when it comes to the starters are below average defenders. And then you go, why are the Pelicans shooting 42% from beyond the arc? What's that all about? How is that possible? Well, that's how it's possible. And by the way, that's a night after they went 8 of 32. 8 of 32. Oh, Keon Ellis had 30 minutes that night too. All right, 3 in the key. Kings Pelicans last night. Hopefully we can get something positive out of this. Christopher Law.
Well, the first question that Jason asked yesterday was who was going to get the last Kings points? Dave, you said DeMar DeRozan, and me and Jason both said
Laravia.
You were right, Dave. DeMar
you.
DeRozan with
Thank
the last
you.
points.
Thank you. Love you, Dad. Love you, Mom.
Jason's second question was how many threes was Keon Ellis going to score, and how many points was he going to end with? Mm-hmm. Dave, you said 2 and 9. Mm-hmm. Jason said 3 and 13. I said 4 and 16. I guess the point goes to you again, Dave.
Wow.
He had 137 points.
137. We were pretty close there. He was 2 and 9. I said he went 1 and 7. Okay, I'll take the point. That's fine.
And then for our random stat, something weird, something crazy, you said Jonas Valanciunas would have a double-figure points.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Finished with 4.
That's not double figures.
I said the Kings are going to win wire to wire and win by 15.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
It's a little off. Jason said there is going to be 4 20-point scores.
Well, so let's have a conversation about this. Because Sabonis had 22, DeRozan had 20, Malik had 24, LaVine had 32.
So you're saying that shouldn't count as 20?
Not a 20 points. Did Jason say 4 guys will score over 40? 20?
I want to say Jason probably said 20 or more.
Okay. All right. I'll accept. That's fine. Okay. Kyle Ledbetter's entered the building. Hey, Kyle. Question, because I want to be I want to be a good guy here. Did you take any of the cookies home? He did not.
Told you.
I believe him. How many cookies, show me with your hands, Kyle, did you eat yesterday? Be honest. This is for posterity. We have cameras. How many cookies did you eat? Show me with your hand. 2. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. Okay. Let's move on. So who grabbed the cookies?
Who took the cookies from the cookie jar?
Who took them? Not me.
Couldn't be.
All right. We'll take a break.
Who?
Yeah, who did it? We need cameras. Well, that would actually be really funny if we had cameras in here. Other than the YouTube cameras.
That's George.
When we come back, we think Kings insider Brendan Nunes joins us. We'll see if he does right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right. Printed and on your phone for free.
Get in zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Friday. Getting out the door, still some lingering showers expected during the morning commute, but into the afternoon, we should see sun and clouds mixing in. We'll have light winds and highs today in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Christie here letting you know it's the President's Day Sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford. Now through President's Day, shop over 500 new Fords with low payments and special finance rates. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, FolsomLakeFord.com.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business. Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it and will beat any print quote. Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs. No problem. I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens. Totally. I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing. I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all grills are created equal and every detail matters. Check out the new Napoleon Prestige and Rogue models and see the difference a Napoleon makes. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium stainless steel, boasting absolute quality. Napoleon knows that the smallest details add up to make a big difference when curating your perfect grilling experience. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Oh, I love this idea if you're a golf fan, as we're efforting Brendan, by the way. All clubhouses should have a live feed in the bar of the first tee box with permanent top tracer technology existing and installed. Imagine relaxing with a drink, watching everyone tee off. $20 blue shirt goes in the you-know-what. I love that. 916-339-1140 is the text line. Kevin Nagel, head of the Sac Republic, also Huddersfield Town, is going to join us in about 10, 12 minutes to talk about the USL stuff from yesterday, also the Sac Republic season starting up here. Joining us right now, Sacktown Sports Kings insider, and just a lovely gentleman, the one, the only Brendan Nunes. Good morning, Brendan.
Good morning, Dave. How you doing?
Good. How are you, my friend?
I am doing well.
Want to get into, by the way, you can follow Brendan at Brendan. That's Brendan Nunes, Nunes, NBA, at Brendan Nunes, NBA. I want to remind everybody, Brendan has a think piece coming up on the Fox trade and wants your reactions. Tag him on Twitter. What? Tag him on Twitter and let him know what you think. Good morning. Everything good?
Yeah, I actually stopped covering the Sacramento Kings, and I'm fully a De'Aaron Fox page now. That's all I prefer to talk about in my free time. Thanks for the promo.
What did somebody say yesterday? You got Mike Brown in your profile pic and your and your Avi. That's you're a Brown fan, not a Kings fan.
Yeah, I guess I need to make some updates. It's not my fault. It's quick changes, as you know, Dave.
You got crap. Are you channeling your inner Carmichael Dave? Last night you said after, this morning, I guess, technically, you were up late. Sorry to say it. I'm quoting Brendan's Twitter right now. Sorry to say it. I have no faith in this Kings team and haven't all year. I don't understand how this team is ever supposed to even sniff the conference finals in the next 5 years. I hope I end up on Cold Takes Exposed. I don't see the vision. I'm glad to hear any counters. Welcome, Brendan. And I say this not in a condescending way, just only in a way of somebody who's been doing this a very long time. Welcome, because I noticed earlier this week you had mentioned you hit 10,000 followers. You mentioned that Twitter's a big reason why you were able to get this job and get into media. So as you begin what I'm sure will be a long and illustrious career, welcome to that world where you have to walk the line between giving your opinion and making sure that opinion is honest and unbiased. And also, if you do that and that opinion happens to be on the negative side, you're going to get killed by a lot of people who think you're a hater. And I'm sure you're experiencing a lot of that last night and today.
Yeah, that's it's part of it for sure. And I think typically I'm pretty good at ignoring most of it. I think the personal attacks on De'Aaron kind of got to me a little bit at times because I just felt like they were very unnecessary, and it's not like De'Aaron's doing himself any favors throughout all of this.
Right.
But yeah, I just felt like at times the line was kind of being crossed and a little unnecessary. But yeah, I feel like part of the party now, and I've also been told that the Kings would break me eventually, and I think we're starting to get to the point a little bit, But again, I mean, I said what I said, and I 100% stand on that. But I do think that they can be a fun team this year. I think my larger point there is that, I'm looking at it from 10,000 feet with the idea that everyone's goal is a championship. And to be blunt, that's not always the case.
Well, and look, for starters, I don't disagree with what you said. And also, I would love to be right there next to you on that Cold Takes Exposed mountain. I want nothing, and I know you feel the same way. I want nothing more than to be wrong, but that's not the job. The job isn't to hold pom-poms and cheer. The job is to analyze and say what you think. And I think we're very similar in what we're saying is that on paper and individually in a vacuum, there's a lot of talent on this team, especially in the top six, if you include Keon Ellis. But it's the mix, and no matter what they do, no matter what they put in there, time and time again, you have this wrong mix of win now guys that are. What I said earlier, Brendan, basically was this is a really good fantasy basketball team. It's not a great NBA team.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And I don't know how they solve their defensive issues. I really don't. And we said it at Media Day. We said it before the trade deadline. We're saying it now. And by the way, with De'Aaron Fox on the team, we said the same thing. They've got to help their bench depth, which they did, and they got to play defense. And I just you have all these performances last night, great performances from 4 different Kings, and you still lose to a team that lost 10 in a row. That's going to happen again.
100%. I mean. Again, and this was an issue with De'Aaron Fox on the team as well. I think it got a little bit worse since, but you interviewed Monty McNair the other day, and he talked about the idea of being top 5 offensively and sort of just in the upper half defensively. And I don't love that formula. I think that they also aren't exactly there right now. I think the offense can be for sure, but defensively they're 20th on the year. Again, they haven't gotten a chance to practice with this group, and I think it will look better. Like I said, I think that they can be a fun team that can score a lot and race to 130, 140 every night. But again, some of these are with De'Aaron as well, but gave up 140 twice on that recent road trip that they had gone on. They gave up 130 to the second worst offense in the league in the Orlando Magic. New Orleans Pelicans, by the way, were 26th in offensive rating before that game. You gave up 140 in overtime, but CJ McCollum practically walked into a layup to win the game, Dave, and he somehow missed it, which felt like a miracle. But defensively, I am a believer in, not to go fool Nico Harrison here, because I would never, but I am a believer in defense wins championships. And I think just being in the upper half of the league defensively is not quite going to cut it. But again, I'm also very aware that I am of the viewpoint of, championship is the eventual goal. And I'd love to hear your perspective on the value of just fielding a competitive team after the history of this organization, the 16, 17 seasons of not making the postseason, because, I was only around for 6, 7 of those and didn't have to deal with the whole thing. So what's your perspective on, like I said, value of fielding a competitive team compared to really striving for championship?
I think they needed to get out of the 16-year drought any way possible, and they did that, and they got some good vibes in the Beam team and all that stuff. They had to do it. I don't blame them for doing that. I think the team has far more talent now than they did when Monty McNair took over, and I think he's done a masterful job at getting there. My problem is that I think you have outside influences or inside influences that want to push and take shortcuts, and that's kind of where we're at right now. I only one team out of 32 is going to win a title, but right. I'd like to be in that group that at some point that is considered for one at the beginning of the year and can push, meaning second round, Western Conference Finals, you build. And when you look at a lot of the teams in the NBA, I'm not talking about the Bostons or the Denvers, the perennial contenders. The Cavs rebuilt and are building towards something. The Knicks are building towards something. Hell, even the Pacers, you feel like, are building towards something. The Bucks are a team that's a perennial. Anytime you have Giannis, you're contending. The Pistons are building towards something. The Magic are building towards something, both Pistons and Magic, with young up-and-coming teams. We know what the Thunder are. They're the example. The Grizzlies were missing Ja last year, building towards contention. The Rockets building. The Lakers perennially contending with LeBron and now Luka Doncic. Even last year, the Timberwolves, Superstar and Edwards, building towards something. You look at the Kings, and the Kings, to me, are in that similar conversation as the Heat, the Warriors, the Suns, maybe even the Magic at this point. Middle-aged team. The difference is they don't have past success to speak of. And this is not a championship ceiling or an NBA final ceiling or I think even a Western Conference final ceiling. And on top of that, you haven't built up tremendous draft capital in the future. You also don't have a ton of really tradable assets. And I know this is long-winded, but we discussed it earlier, Brendan. When you look at, okay, well, let's completely rebuild, which this ownership will never do. Sabonis, you're going to get a decent haul for, no doubt. Is Keegan's value really that high? You'll get something for DeRozan, but I mean, we're talking what? Maybe a pick, maybe a young rotational player. LaVine has one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and he signed for another 2 years with that player option at $50 million. And I think you can get something for Monk, but none of these, and forget the bench, none of these are guys that are bringing you multiple first-round picks or young studs that just, we're not pulling a Paul George for a rookie Gilgeous-Alexander type move here. So I just, like you, I don't know what the long-term vision is here. I feel like it's just, let's just win and be as entertaining as we can right now and pull out all the stops.
Yeah, for sure, which, has some value, just entertainment value right now. And again, I'm not trying to say that I think this year's team is just horrible, but to what you just said, like it's the long-term vision that I think I'm struggling to see. And people joke about my Mike Brown pictures in my bio and my whatever it's called banner on Twitter. But I think that was that's one of the things I agreed with Mike a lot, that he felt like he was eventually striving towards that. And, sometimes you have to take one step backwards to take 2 steps forward. And the defensive focus that he had on this team, or the, as much as Kevin Herter jokes that they're running the same play over and over, I think the read and react is supposed to be unscoutable in the postseason. Or when he first had his introductory press conference, he talked about having a vertical and horizontal alignment within the organization, and that being important to fixing the culture in Sacramento. And I think we could not be further from that being the case right now, Dave. And it just gives me not much hope for what the future outlook looks like. Again, you can continue to be a team that we're wondering, hey, maybe they'll have a chance of getting out of the first round. But I kind of side with, I think Daryl Morey is the one that said it years ago, like, just get to the conference finals and anything can happen from there. Yeah. Really, you saw it with the Toronto Raptors, obviously, and there's other outlier scenarios, but that's kind of where I stand. And it's, to your point, tough for me to see how we eventually get to that point. The hardest piece to find in roster construction is a number one option. And I'm not saying that De'Aaron Fox is that guy, but I thought he was your only chance at that. And I thought that Mike Brown thought that same thing and was trying to push him to be better. And he needed to be better than what he had been, obviously. He hadn't shown that he could be that guy up to this point. But he was the only person that I personally felt like had a chance. And even if it was a long shot. And now you have to find that again. And especially as a small market like the Sacramento Kings, sure, you could luck into an SGA when you trade away one of your guys, but that's also an outlier scenario. It really has to be through the draft. And again, I understand I don't have the same perspective of dealing with the extended drought like the rest of the Kings fan base did, but I really think that bottoming out is the only way that you eventually get that number one and reach any sort of even flirting with contention.
Never lacks drama. The Sacramento Kings, Brendan Nunes, Sactown Sports Kings Insider, joins us each and every week. Have a good All-Star break, my man. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate you. Any recommendations for what to do at All-Star?
I would do anything but watch basketball, my friend. Because
there we go.
It's going to be nothing but a basketball sandwich for the rest of the season. So
that's the plan.
Good luck, dude. Thank you. That's Brendan Nunes. We'll pause, take a quick 1 minute break. When we come back, we'll switch it up a little bit. Sac Republic owner Kevin Nagel joins us next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
California, it's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon. 4 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now through February 17th and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford President's Day Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end February 17th. So go to your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
We talked about it yesterday at length. Whether you're a soccer fan or not, as I always say, be a fan of more things to watch on TV. And the USL is making moves, creating a first-team league, first-level league, if you will, to rival MLS in a couple of years. And along with that, the hope is promotion and relegation. And for those of you not familiar, meaning if you've got 3 levels of USL soccer, for example, the bottom 3 in the first league go down to the second league and on, as well as the top 3 in each league get promoted. The equivalent in NBA terms would be the Kings a few times during the 2010s would have been playing in the G League the following year and would have had to have finished top 3 in the G League to move back up. Imagine that. Imagine the A's being in AAA, et cetera, et cetera. The Tennessee Titans playing in, well, they don't, whatever, the XFL. So it's very exciting also because the Sacramento Republic were mentioned in the reports as one of the foundational teams for that new league. And with the season coming up here, not that far away. I mean, we're less than a month before the Republic debut at home at Heart Health Park versus New Mexico United. It's been a while since we visited. We'll bring on the owner, the chairman of your Sacramento Republic, also Huddersfield Town FC, Kevin Nagel. Morning, dude. What's up?
Fine. Welcome, Carmichael F. Dave.
Thank you.
Good to hear you this morning.
I don't want to know what the F stands for, but I'm sure you'll text me. There's families listening. How are you?
I'll let everybody think about that one. I'm great. Thank you.
How have you dealt with, I want to get into this USL news, of course, but how are you dealing with a foot in England and a foot in Northern California when it comes to dealing with both of your soccer and or football teams, if you will? Is it harder than you thought? The same? Easier? How would you describe it after a year and a half of doing it?
No, it's probably harder. Part of it is because we have a lot of overlapping seasons. And that means, I get nervous twice a week, usually, sometimes 3 times, as opposed to just one.
Well, but the stress levels, though. The stress levels have to be.
It's you and I have talked about this, the sweaty palms.
Yeah.
And, the interesting thing about it is, I've said this in the past, that with the Republic, this last season was a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
I knew that I could go into any game, and I knew we were going to have a very good chance we were going to win that game. Unfortunately, when we acquired Huddersfield, it was a team that was floundering. They were always flirting with relegation. They were in the Premier League, about 3 or 4 years before that. But most of the time, they're just bouncing right at the bottom. And so when we hired that team, without being able to make any moves, we just had to sweat and hope that we wouldn't get relegated. Well, we did, as you know. But it still doesn't mean you don't have sweaty palms, because I know, as I said, that really the Sacramento Republic, they were going to have a good chance of winning every game. I just did not know that with Huddersfield Town.
So that's a great segue into the USL news. And without getting too deep in the weeds, the idea, as I mentioned in your intro, is to create a first level league that would be on the same par, according to US Soccer, as MLS. You then have your other 2 USL sections below that for a total of 3 tiers, much like Premier League, Championship, and League One currently in English football. And as you mentioned, Huddersfield Town was relegated last year, and the pain and agony of going through that, the penalty of having to drop down a full league, and at best, you play a full year in that lower league, finish either top 2 and automatically go up, or top 6, playing a playoff and go up. That's the best case scenario. Kevin, that's just not something American sports fans understand. In other words, like we were talking yesterday offline, in American sports, it's the top teams that matter, the middle teams, whatever, and nobody pays attention to the lower teams except for draft picks. In this case, it's on its ear. You're paying attention to the top teams. The middle teams don't even count, and you're paying attention to the relegation battle down below.
No, you're right, Dave. And what the interesting thing about it is when you go to Europe and you look at what happens during the latter part of the season, they're watching, people are watching 2 things. They're watching the top part to see who's going to get in their cup, who's going to be in the playoffs, and then who's going to maybe get relegated. So what happens is on their television, their media deals, those relegation teams are really watched to see who's going to go. And as you know, last year, unfortunately, Huddersfield Town, we went down along with Birmingham, who we're battling right now, as you know, to try to go right back up. And those are really exciting games.
Well, and there's a long road to getting there with USL, and really kind of educating I'm just talking about the layperson soccer fan over here that has no idea. But what you look, full disclosure, obviously you're a huge part of the USL. Sac Republic's one of their foundational teams. This is something you've known about for a long time. So what are your thoughts on the news and the move? And do you think this is something that long term could be good, not just for USL, but also for US Soccer?
I think it's going to be great for U.S. soccer. Part of it, it brings really the international flavor to the U.S. As you know, there's a massive group of people in the United States that follow really international soccer. And what I mean by that is, it's not that they don't watch domestic soccer, which is really MLS, et cetera, but they pay a lot of attention to, whether it's, the La Liga or whether it's the Premier League or the leagues in the UK, because they're really exciting. And it's exciting by the fact that it's potential that you could move into different leagues. As you know, we've seen this with Huddersfield Town, where we were really at first-class stadiums last year in the Championship League. This year, we're seeing a lot of stadiums. They're just not that same quality because we're playing down a league. And I think what happens with the USL, look, it's still a very young league, but they're developing the constructs to put, as you mentioned, really a relegation promotional system in place to make it really exciting. It's a little bit different, as you know, than let's say the UK, which is really the gold standard, because the UK is really the size of California. Mm-hmm. But if you had relegation promotion, you could have a lot of teams that are on the East Coast or West Coast, and you'd be playing those teams a lot of the time because of the league that you're in. But I do believe, altogether, I think makes it really for exciting, soccer in the U.S.
As we're talking to Kevin Nagel, chairman of both Sac Republic and Huddersfield Town right here, I want to mention again, March 8th, Saturday, Heart Health Park, New Mexico United, and a new look Republic. And I'm not talking about the roster necessarily, but first time in a long time, a new coach. I know that happened a couple months ago, but we can relitigate because we're going into the new season. Obviously, you're excited about the new coach, but also first time in a while, you haven't had Mark around too. So obviously, interesting times out there.
No, it is. Look, we brought in Neil Collins. I mean, I'll tell you, when we opened up the opportunity for somebody to coach the Sacramento Republic, we had unbelievable number of really highly qualified candidates. It was tough to make that decision, but we found Neil. Neil has got an incredible resume. He had been in the USL before. In 3 years, I think he got to the finals twice. Barely win 2 cups, and then he's been over and had a very successful career in Europe, and we recruited him back. So I'm really excited by it, and I think he's going to do a great job for us. He's got a great reputation in the coaching industry.
I want to throw you a curveball because I know you can hit it. You're a former owner of the Sacramento Kings. You own 2 sports teams. We've been having a conversation all day, a philosophical conversation about the philosophy of a franchise. And let's just take Sac Republic. As an owner, you want to entertain the audience. Obviously, you want to make money and fill the seats, and you want to win a championship. But what is your general philosophy on you're either contending for a title or you're knocking it down to the foundation and taking a step back for years? In other words, a rebuild, only to build back up later and contend for a title. Are you the type of owner that would look at that middle ground, never good enough to win a title, but never bad enough to rebuild, as no man's land, or do you have a different thought on that?
No, I think you have to compete, Dave. I mean, I really think it is. You cannot keep moving back. I see this in really not just the NBA, but all over, that there are teams that are always in sort of, quote, a rebuilding mode. And that's not great for the fans. It doesn't make for the sport to be interesting. I think you try to compete. Look, we can all talk about yesterday with the Kings, but I think that we can go back and, the early 2000s when we had our best teams. And I mean, look, we were only a piece away, as you know. You could argue, 1 year we should have won the whole thing. Yeah. But the reality was, unfortunately, we had one team in front of us that stopped us who went on to win. And I think they swept. Didn't they sweep the New Jersey in 4 games? Yeah. But my point is that you're not that far away. And sometimes you age out a little bit, but that's where you kind of do a refresh, as you'll see this year with the Republic. We had a great couple of years, really quality teams. Last year, you could argue we had the best. We had the best players. Unfortunately, they got a little bit older, and so we've now started to do a refresh, bring in younger guys, bring in people who are experienced in some areas, but not age. But you always have to compete. I think that's best for your fans, and that's what I would do.
can't let you off the phone without asking you. Last time we spoke, last time you were really in the news out here was the deal with Sky River and the entire tribe out there. Those wonderful people that you all came together down at City Hall Stadium. Announced soccer specific, etc. Could you just give us they say laws and sausages, the two things you don't like seeing made or aren't fun to look at. Well, are we at the laws and sausages part of the stadium? Give us an update on where we're at.
No, we're right on point. Our goal is in 2027 to open up stadium, down at the rail yards. I mean, everything is, as far as you can tell right now, they're on point to open at that particular time. As you know, things can change. But I feel really good about things on where we are. We've got daily meetings, sometimes twice meeting on what we're going to do on the designs. I'm excited, and I think the Sacramento community should be excited as well.
Okay, last thing. How do you feel about if you're ever, let's say, traveling and your friends want to maybe have input on where to eat dinner? What's your general thought on that? Do you listen to their input at all, or do you just make the decision and force them to eat where you want?
I'm cutting you off on that, Dave. Yeah. No, I make the decision on that.
Yeah.
I've got 3 places that I like.
3.
Let's say we're in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you criticized me last time I said I was at 4, but I really think it's 3.
Yeah, it's 3.
And and so you just have to get your mindset. I mean, the one thing I'll tell your audience about you, Dave, is you bring candy for 3 weeks.
That's true.
And so you've got, you're well stocked.
That's true.
I mean, Dave got stopped. When we were coming through customs, he got stopped because of the fact that he had too much candy.
That's also true, as a matter of fact, because every time we go over there with all the wonderful British cuisine there is, it's Italian, it's that burger place, and it's the Asian place, the one with the sushi.
Those burgers, those British burgers that they mask as being American, are not that bad when you're craving a burger.
Yeah, they're fine. They're good. Well, onward and upward. Thank you. Good update on USL. Good update on Republic. And, of course, we'll be talking more during the schedule, during the season.
Look, it's going to be an exciting year for the Republic. I think, Neil, I think, is going to do a great job. New players, refresh, new partners that I've got there. It's going to be a really fun year. Come out and see us.
All right, brother. Thank you. Good talking. We'll talk soon.
All right, fight on. We'll see you.
See you. That's Kevin Nagel. We're late for a break. Chris is mad at me. When we come back, we'll go right to celebrity birthdays before we get to Friday Fun and Games after this.
You'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento. It's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Cheer on the Sacramento Kings in the stretch run of the season. Now through February 21st, enjoy no fees on Kings tickets for all upcoming games, including matchups against the Warriors, Spurs, Cavaliers, and Celtics. That's right, no fees, just savings. Catch the Beam Team with new addition, 2-time All-Star Zach LaVine, and experience the thrill of Kings basketball at Golden One Center. Seats are going fast. Don't wait to get your tickets with no fees. Visit kings.com/no fees to grab your tickets today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends over at Jiffy Lube, and they want to show some customer love this month with their February oil change deals you can find online today. Visit jiffylube.com and find a service center near you to see these sweetheart deals, get it, during the month of February. Here's what you do. Drive into savings at jiffylube.com today and let yourself save in the month of February. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from my good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, Marvel comic fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. This week, get ready for Captain America, Brave New World, the IMAX experience. The best place to immerse yourself in Marvel comic action is on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen with heart-pounding audio.
You asked for me. Here I am. Captain America, caught without his wings.
You want me? Come and get me! Get your tickets early at IMAX.com/Sacramento. And don't miss Captain America, Brave New World, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Hello, I'm Frank Aqua with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Looking back at 2024, the stock market was at all-time highs. The economy seemed vibrant. Jobs were plentiful for those looking, and inflation seemed to have nearly cooled to the 2% Federal Reserve target. In reality, it can be much different. Unemployment, for example, measures all workers, including those that may be underemployed by choice or by circumstance. It only measures those actively looking for work and does not include earned income. You could actually be underemployed, earning less than needed monthly, but still count as employed. 23.7% of workers counted as employed earned less than the poverty level of nearly $25,000 annually. Similarly, if you look at inflation and remove the items that those with a modest income are not likely to purchase, in 2023, the rate of inflation rose from the stated 4.1% CPI to 9.4%, according to a study by Politico. It was items such as these that led mainstream America to feel unseen and unheard. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned in other entities and or marketing names. Products or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the President's Day sales event?
It's time for some good old-fashioned doorbusters. Right now, save up to $20,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2024 Ram trucks. That's the kind of savings you don't usually see until Memorial Day, and definitely not on Ram heavy duties. But this weekend at Hoblet, it's happening.
And you have 30 to choose from?
That's right. Plus, you can also get 0% financing for 72 months on a bunch of new models, including hybrids. But you better hurry in. These deals only last through President's Day.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. 20,000 total net savings after 13,000 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% off MSRP factory cash, sample VIN savings 8013, plus 4,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons and 1,000 trade-in assistance for 2005 or newer under 160,000 mile vehicle. Sample VIN 371844. 0% financing for 72 months on new Wagoneer S, 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE, and 2024 Dodge Hornet. $13.89 per thousand finance on approved credit through Stellantis Financial. See dealer for details.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, we got to get celebrity birthdays here really quick because we got Friday fun and games. We want to get out on time. Chris, I just have a project for you, and I want to mention it on the air during this break coming up. I won't get too far into detail now because we don't have time, but our boss has set up an intra-show contest based on different things that we should be doing as hosts anyways. It's fun. I love it. I plan on this show sweeping every single aspect of that every week. And so I would like for you to come up with, it could be as simple as a ding, some sort of sounder every time we gain a point for something we do in the contest on the program so that we can submit our score at the end of each show.
That shouldn't be a problem.
That shouldn't be a problem. Kick your ass, Alan Stiles. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, rumor has it, maybe not true, you took a box of cookies home with you. Is that true?
That's not true.
Okay.
I took 2 cookies. I ate 1 cookie here.
Yeah.
I took 2 cookies home.
And then what about the box that was in here?
I took it downstairs.
Why did you take it downstairs? After all we went through yesterday about it being 11:40 only.
Whitey didn't want it.
You asked him?
I offered it to the
we
round
went
table.
through a whole thing about in here only.
Yeah, we did. And then I end up in the bathroom with who? Scott Marsh.
And, I mean, that's a cool story, but...
Well, here's the thing. Jason still has yet to get a cookie. There have been 3 boxes of cookies.
The Kings crew last night didn't get any cookies. There was no breakfast cookies this morning.
Ramsey didn't get one. Henry Turner didn't get one. Jason didn't get one.
No,
you
I
didn't.
did the right thing.
We went through a whole thing.
We had a cookie box here.
There was no box. You took the box.
There were 2 boxes.
Yes, and you're saying you took one and left one?
Yes, I didn't take both boxes.
Well, where's the other box?
Oh, it's in the trash.
Oh,
the empty one.
All right, I'll take it all back. Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Nothing says family and friends and causes unrest at the workplace like Crumble Cookies. Thank you to Crumble Chris and Scott Marsh, by the way.
No, thank you to Crumble Chris.
Scott Marsh went out and got a box too. That one of those boxes he went out and bought separately from Crumble Chris with his own money. We
thank
found
you
that
to
out.
Scott Marsh.
There you go.
And thank you to Crumble Chris, and no thank you to Carmichael Dave.
Wow, I'm the one that pushed for all of it.
You're the one that threw me under the bus.
On this date,
somebody else
in 2005,
I was defending
a group of college students created a website called
That would
YouTube.
Yes. Oh, wait, on this date? That would be 2006?
Yeah. 08?
It might be too late.
We do not have a correct answer. Dave is closer.
Earlier.
2005 for YouTube.
What did I say? 2006?
He said 2006.
Son of a.
Happy birthday today to Pat O'Brien.
Like CBS Pat O'Brien?
CBS is Pat O'Brien.
He's still with us?
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh, God, he's got to be old, though.
You are so hot.
85.
89.
Dave's closer, 77.
Oh,
man.
Dave tried to send him 6 feet under.
Happy birthday today to Rob Thomas.
He was like 30 when Pat O'Brien was like 30 when he was doing Celtics Lakers in the 80s.
Yeah.
Wow. Who? Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20?
Correct.
Oh, Rob's 54. It's real, I was lonely.
57.
We don't have a correct answer. Dave is closer. He is 53 today.
One off. Alan, you okay?
Happy birthday today to Simon Pegg.
I also don't know who any of these people are.
You don't know who Simon Pegg is?
I don't know who he is either. I'm being honest.
Shaun of the Dead?
Can I look up his picture? I'll try to not.
Mission Impossible? Star Trek?
Let me just go.
I need pictures.
Image. Yeah, I'm trying right now here. Oh, okay. I've seen,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a celebrity?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
What's the line there?
Is he English?
Yes.
Oh, well,
yeah.
No, he's in Mission Impossible.
I mean,
is he a bad guy?
Is he a bad guy? He looks like a bad guy.
He works for, I guess he works for Tom Cruise, so I guess he's a bad guy.
Okay, but, okay, he's 61.
No, I've been going high on all of them, so I'm going to go 54.
61, 54.
Well, Alan is closest.
Finally.
He's 55.
Oh, well,
finally.
Okay, happy birthday, former WNBA Monarch, Carol Lawson.
Carol Lawson. I know someone who knows her. Carol Lawson. 36.
40.
Alan is closer. 44.
Okay.
I think we're 2 and 2.
I'm good.
So this is going to be the tiebreaker here.
Coming in low.
Happy birthday today to, we could go baseball player or magician. Which would you prefer?
Not baseball player because he's Dr. Hit. So can we go magician, please? Because he's.
Happy birthday to Teller from Penn and Teller.
Is Teller the one that doesn't speak?
Correct.
Okay.
He's always on Hell's Kitchen, I think.
77.
Alan?
75.
We've got a correct answer. And the winner of today, Alan, it is not you.
Oh, he did the thing. He did the thing.
Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take a break. See if Alan can get some revenge with Friday Fun and Games. Chris Roulette edition next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Okay, guys, who is done with their Valentine's Day shopping? What are you waiting for? Stop putting off your Valentine's Day shopping and go to Prestigio Jewelers today.
She's right. Prestigio Jewelers has everything you need for Valentine's this year. And you're approved to guaranteed. No credit, bad credit, even bankruptcy? 6 months proof of income guarantees you a credit line of $400 to $10,000. Time is running out. Make this a Valentine's Day she'll never forget. Visit one of our showrooms today or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
At Stockton Honda, we know how to honor a great deal. Like right now, during our President's Day sales event, you can find star-spangled savings on some of our best models. Why not stop in today and see for yourself? Save thousands with low APR financing and great lease rates on over 500 new Hondas at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com. To my city by the bay. NBA All-Star. Get ready for a show. Are you ready to take? When I come home, Stephen Curry's is let's get it on TNT.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Carrington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
We have finally made it to Friday.
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games
On the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Okay. Welcome back. Carmichael Dave. Alan Stiles. Finishing off the week with Friday Fun and Games. Jason will be back either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll be off next week unless Jason's gone, and then I will work Tuesday. You get the point. Alan will be here. Chris will be here. Kyle Ledbetter will be here. Chris, what's today's game?
It's one of our favorites, A to Z. This is the game where I will give you a category, and then it is your job to come up with a letter corresponding to the answer, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And by the way, you're wearing red for Valentine's Day, right?
I think we're all wearing red, except for somebody.
Oh, I got red. All right. This end, whoever it points to, goes first. That's you. You're first.
All right,
That's
Alan.
the flip of the broom.
Okay.
You've got 90 seconds for the hit doctor to name baseball players.
Oh, my goodness. Alex Rodriguez.
He's a tough one.
Yeah,
real tough.
Barry Bonds.
There you
go. Craig Kimbrell. Daryl Strawberry. Ear. I play with a guy named Elijah Yarborough.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, or not Eric Davis.
Eric Davis.
Or Eric Chavez.
Feliciano. They're out there.
We'll accept it.
It's first or last names.
They're out there, he says.
Greg.
I got you. Okay.
First or last names.
Greg Vaughn. Oral Hershiser.
Okay.
Oral starts with an O.
In
Hershiser.
Oh, I see. I apologize.
Orlando. Oh, it's like Iscavel or something like that.
Iscal. Oh,
Yeah.
Jorge
Cabrera.
Oh, Jorge. Okay.
Kevin
Euclid.
Bias.
Larry. Oh, Larry Walker.
There you go.
Matt Chapman.
Yep. No.
Nick
Long
Nurse.
drive.
Nick Cass.
Long drive.
Oh, Nick Castellanos. Oral Hershiser.
Or do we McDowell?
Orlando Perryman.
Or Pedro Martinez. Okay.
Pedro
No, I thought
Martinez.
you did well.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Of names.
For these time games, you really want to take your time.
I want baseball players.
God, that's 2 names. It's tough.
All right. We were talking about it earlier, Dave. Your love of video games. So go.
Atari, or like Atari Centipede, whatever. Battlestar Galactica is not a video game. Berserk, Crash Bandicoot, Dig Dug, EverQuest, Frogger, Golf, Halo, Pass. Joust,
Nice.
Kickboxer or Kung Fu. Okay, Pass. Mission Impossible, or excuse me, Missile Command. Nier, NIER. Okay, Pass. Come on, David. Popeye, Q-Berts, Road Blasters. Spy Hunter, Tron, Pass, Witcher, Pass, Yar's Revenge, and Zaxxon. I is Ice Climbers.
L
is what? Oh, come on. L.
O.
No, I'm sticking with L.
Okay.
Nobody say anything, please. Come on. You're doing fish lips. And
Sure would hate if someone would grab that.
Was he doing a lemur?
What is that?
Lord of okay, I guess I could do Lord of the Rings, Shadow of War. What were you doing?
Lemmings.
Lemmings? That's lemmings?
Like a lemon.
So what was the thing with your mouth?
You have a lemon. You go.
Dude, I almost passed out.
Oh my God.
I'm holding a lemon and my mouth.
You're also sucking on a lemon?
Lemmings? Yes, lemmings.
Okay, we got time for one more quick. Let's have Kyle name American colleges.
Oh, wow. Okay. American University, Boston College, Connecticut University, Dartmouth, Pass. God, why can I not think of an F? Pass. Georgia
State,
Tech. H. Houston. I. Indiana. J. pass. God, why can I not think of a K?
I don't know. Is there a state that starts with K?
Kansas State, LSU, Michigan, N, Northwestern, O, Ohio State, P, Purdue, Q, Quinnipiac, R, Rhode Island, S, San Francisco State, T, Texas, U,
University
of California, Davis, V, Vermont, W, Washington, X, Xavier, Y, Yale, Z, pass,
E,
pass,
F,
Florida State,
J,
Jackson State,
E,
don't.
Elizabethtown.
Elizabethtown
College.
Located in Zanesville, Ohio, Zane State College, Zion Bible College, Zhejiang University, located in China, but that's not America. Not a lot of Z's. Well done, everybody. I think we acquitted ourselves well, except for...
What about Sacramento State?
There you go. Yeah, it was neat how you couldn't find an F.
Oh, that's right. You're a Florida State fan, right?
There you go. At least you picked that.
It's funny when you said F, you're yelling Florida. I'm thinking Fairleigh Dickinson.
Fordham.
When he said O, I said Oral Roberts.
Oh, FIU. That's a
you were
good one.
fixated on oral.
Yeah, you were. That's two different oral answers you gave
Valentine's
today.
Day.
It is. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Shock. What's coming up, buddy?
It's Friday.
Yeah.
I'm sad
Why?
because the Kings are good.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So Valentine's Day edition with a very red Allen Styles celebrating.
Yeah.
And we'll get to all that next. Have a great weekend, everybody. Remember to love each other and be careful. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye. Now.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.